All right, what is up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints, you blasphemous, beautiful bastards. Welcome back to The Rage. I'm the Raging Atheist. I'm Bear. Horse is here. John is here. And we're going to be looking at a conversation that I had with Smokey about 5 or 6 days ago. A conversation involving Dragnauct Silvas, Math Pig, Quintin Phipps, and this one guy is the hosts. Praise is there and Jill is there as well. And we're going to be looking at this conversation. But first, I want to say what's up to John. Quentin said he wanted to be here, but I didn't have a way to contact him. And I know that he's like dealing with some life shit, so he might not be able to. But Quentin, if you want to come in, you're more than welcome to. Just if you're in the side chat, let me know how to get a hold of you, and I'll send you a link.
Well, Math Pig had sent him a message on Discord, and then Math Pig gave me his Twitter handle, and I just DM'd him on Twitter, told him we were live. I follow Quentin, but I couldn't remember what his handle was on.
Yeah, I might even have him on my Twitter. I just couldn't remember. You know, I typed in Ginger and I couldn't find him. So, but I do know like something happened in his life recently. I'm not quite sure what, but I know he's having some life issues right now. So if he can't make it, you know, apologies, Quentin. Maybe next time. But what's up, John? This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm especially interested to re-listen to the exchange between Smokey and Dragnauct, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I think it was a classic little mini conversation that they had.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. We'll just have more to say once we play it.
Yeah, now we're gonna let it play. It's Quentin's channel. I was on it. I was part of this conversation. I'm sure Quentin's gonna have no issues. He was supposed to be here, so I'm gonna just let it play. I for some reason am not subscribed to Quentin's channel. I've been there, but I think people usually send me links or something because for some reason I'm not subscribed. So I was hoping he'd be here today and I could throw his link into the description.
I can take care of that.
Yeah, we'll get his link into the description. So you guys go subscribe to Quentin. Him and this one guy are having a morning show. This is where this conversation happened. And we're going to get right into it. Again, you know, it's a watch party. We will stop it a couple times during the conversations to comment on really relevant parts. But for the most part, we're going to let the conversation play. It's about an hour and 15 minutes. and then we'll talk about it afterwards. So, Horse and Bear Show. And this is a conversation, me and Smokey's had this back and forth. He's really triggered right now. He's pretending like he doesn't understand where this debate between me and Jill came from. He's pretending like he wasn't in the fucking room when we finally finalized this debate. He's pretending like he doesn't understand that Jill was calling me a coward, saying that I was running from this debate. But you're going to see just what kind of a fraud that Smokey Saint is. He's a liar. He's also a fake scholar. There's going to be a very clarifying point of this conversation where I'm going to have to stop it and just show you how wrong Smokey is about his Bible. So, go ahead, John.
In the overview of this whole thing, too, it's a testament to how intellectually dishonest that Smokey is. Because the bottom line is the reason he's so triggered about all this is because in the argument or in the debate between Rage and Jill, Smokey falls on Rage's side of the argument. Okay. And instead of just being intellectually honest and admitting that Jill's wrong and Rage is right, he wants to manufacture all these other beefs about it. You went ahead and gave, Rage a win, this topic's stupid, when he knew what the topic was prior to the debate,
and it's the topic that his friend Praise and Jill, they want to have this conversation about slavery in the Bible, and was it really slavery? Because Praise and Jill's, both of their positions is that it wasn't. It was indentured servitude. So instead of being upset with his friends for having the false position, he's upset that his friends put themselves in a position to make me look really, really good.
And the thing is too, and not to get into that argument, we're going to, you can go watch that debate on modern.
Well, and I'm going to be, no, it was actually on Praise's channel, John.
Okay, that's right. It's on Praise.
I'm mirroring it, and it will be on this channel on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Without, I'm not reviewing it. I'm mirroring it. I'm putting it out uninterrupted. And then in a week or two, if you would like, maybe you can come on, or anybody that would like can come on, and we'll actually review that debate. But I'm going to put it on Monday on the channel.
Well, and all I wanted to say was just on that topic. To me, there's just one thing you have to bring up about that whole argument to show that there was involuntary slavery. And I can't remember exactly what scripture it is, but it basically says, yes, the slave can be let go after 7 years, but if he was given a wife while a slave and they had children, the wife and the children still belong to the slave master. That's the end of the discussion right there. That is involuntary slavery, no matter how you slice it. So,
and I brought it up, and I believe it was Exodus 21, 2-9. I could be wrong about the 21 part. Could be 20, but I think it was Exodus 21, 2-9. Yeah, it says, and it's a loophole, and I brought that up. It's like, what good business model, what good businessman in the modern day or awful slave owner in the ancient day isn't going to utilize this loophole and make sure that he gives his slave a wife and enough time to at least have 1 or 2 children. So his slave does develop these human emotions of attachment to these people and will choose a life of servitude, and not just a life of servitude, the lives of their children after them, right? You get born into slavery and you belong to the master. So, I mean, it's a lifetime of slavery, not just,
and that's an important point too that you mentioned, is that, the slave can leave, but if he does not want to leave his wife and child, then he can say, I love my master, I want to stay. And then he is a slave for life. Yeah. After saying that. So, but at any rate, we don't want to rehash a whole debate again, but let's get into it.
You guys will see that on Monday on the channel if you haven't seen it on Praise's channel yet. And again, I would recommend you wait for me, because I'm going to at least do something to fix when Praise is drunk as fuck and can't figure out how to work OBS, because the visuals are fucked through a good chunk of the debate. Fucked.
Yeah.
All right. So Yeah, we're gonna do this. So let me share my screen again, and we're gonna let it play, guys. So we're gonna be quiet. We will interject, probably fairly early in the conversation. I know that there's a part that John wants to talk about, and then I know there's a part that I'm gonna want to stop it at the near the end of the Dragnauct exchange. So,
and then if you're going to be monitoring your screen, Rage, rather than me, speak up and overtalk what the recording is saying, if you see me unmute, then that's a sign to you that I want to stop it and say something.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. And if I don't notice it right away, put something in the private chat. I'll try to keep that. I'll try to keep StreamYard on private chat and then check out what's going on in the side chat on the actual channel.
Right.
So, all right. Yep. We're going to just play this now. And you guys enjoy the conversation.
I'll drop the link. I don't want Math Pigs.
You can stay if you want. This isn't my channel. You're still a scumbag, but this isn't my channel.
Wait, I don't want Jill to go just yet because
what up, Math Pig?
I want to hear what actually happened to make Jill and Math Pig be at each other's throats. What occurred?
Well, I will tell you the story if Jill keeps his mouth shut while I tell it.
What do you think, Jill? What do you think?
I'm muted.
All right, go for it.
Debate was arranged between me and him. He agreed to the date, the time, and the topic, all on his channel, while me and Peter were there, all recorded. He then didn't give two flying fucks, didn't bother his hole. He then had to come and be called to come to the debate because he forgot. He was doing a live when he was supposed to be over on mine having a debate. He then came over and complained the entire time about the topic. Like, you agree to the topic. That's, he whinged the entire time, couldn't make any sort of a point, and just trolled the chat. He also said the word that P. Mars is screaming in the side chat. He also started saying that on my live chat.
What is the word? Wait, okay, I'm not watching. What is it?
It's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's saying ginger. Sometimes don't say it in the fucking live stream, man. This is the thing. No. At the end of the day, I then arranged another debate between him and religion is bullshit. He agreed to the time. He agreed to the date. I then spent an hour making a thumbnail, setting up the stream, getting everything ready for it, making a new background and everything specifically for it. And then he goes and says, I've decided, no, I don't like the time. I don't like the date. I don't like the topic. And I work to 9 o'clock, so I can't do it. Okay. Then I tell everybody I'm having an open mic night the next night, and all of a sudden,
real quick,
again. He's a troll, Smokey. I'd rather talk to you than Jill.
Real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off, Math Pig. Real quick, not to cut you guys off. I am, P. Mars, you can go fuck yourself. You're not, Kelvin. You're not. Yeah, you're definitely not gonna be allowed in here.
I think P. Mars is absolutely.
Look at the private chat.
I love P. Mars.
I think if we could, if possible, just to make it fair, maybe allow Jill to at least just respond to give his side. I see what Matt is saying.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry.
Jill, why don't you maybe, if you could, 60, 90 seconds.
Yeah. Do you, Rage? Do you put me backstage real quick?
Sure, take me backstage because I'm not. You can take me backstage. I'll shout over Jill and call him a liar. Put me back.
Just don't leave. Just don't leave, Math Pig. All right, don't leave me.
I'm here. I'm rolling the joint.
This is quite a show. This is nice. I'm so happy.
Knock. Can you
bring the dynamic, man?
This guy.
I'm not sure who it was, but about 60 seconds ago, when they were addressing the fact that P. Mars was putting all of this racial BS in the side chat, I think it was Praise that spoke up and said, I love P. Mars. Did you hear that?
Yeah, and he will, as we get into it, and again, if you were here for the stream yesterday, I talked about P. Mars using the N-word in a stream. This was the stream. He was dropping it in the private chat, because Quentin wouldn't let him actually onto the stream. He dropped it 40, 50, 60 times, something like that. Hard ER, but in the side chat as well, he was dropping it. He would spell it one letter at a time.
Right.
And so Yeah, it was like over and over again. So there's going to be a moment here in just a minute to where Praise is going to be like, he's always been cool when he came on my stream. And I'm like, Praise, yo, if you want to see how cool P Mars is, check the private chat. So yeah, that moment's coming, John.
Well, and I think he's still doing that shit.
Well, I know he did get booted off of Praise's channel. It was by Gavin, but it was for talking shit about Smokey, not for saying the N-word. Right. So yeah, they kicked him off here recently because he was talking shit about Smokey because of this exchange. When Smokey saw this, Smokey was done with PMARS, and I will give Smokey credit for that. Like Smokey has been calling PMARS out and sounds an awful lot like me when I do it. I mean, so I'm going to give Smokey credit for that. He is doing the right thing when it comes to PMARS.
Well, yeah, and I can agree with that. But then let's not forget that Smokey thinks he should be able to use that word without any repercussions.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, and I think that's Smokey's problem with it, is that what Smokey tried to say covertly in our exchanges about this topic, P Mars just goes and fucking does this shit. So I think Smokey might be a little jelly.
Hey, real quick before we start up again, hey, this one guy, how you doing? Hunter Bailey, Spooky Bed Hair, Stupid Horror Energy, greatest name on the internet, and my brother from another mother, Maynard Saves, my campaign manager.
Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed every day.
So yeah, we will get into this, and then I know
CPA's here too, Hunter Bailey.
Yeah, we got a good amount of people here, and this is going to be fun. I mean, trust me, guys. When Dragnauct comes in, he's going to run circles around Smokey Saint. I mean, I do. Would you agree with that, John? I mean, not giving any spoilers away of what happens. I did kind of spoil it a little bit with my promo video.
Well, as Drag is very adept at, he exposes Smokey for what Smokey is. Let's just
I would agree with that. So we're gonna get back into it, and I do know that you want to stop somewhere near the beginning of the drag encounter, or right before the drag encounter. But also, like, I think what you just did to stop the stream here, if you really want me to stop, John, just holler at me, because I'm going to be like looking at the side chat and doing several things here at the computer probably.
Okie doke, I got it.
All right, so here we go, y'all.
I will pay him $1,000 to prove that I ever used the N-word on a live stream side chat, on a live stream private chat. The man is a total liar. The reason why he blocked me from his channel and refuses to have a conversation with me is because I destroyed him. I utterly embarrassed him on his own channel. Yes, I was 5 minutes late for the debate because I was doing my own stream. Forgive me. But that's not why you lost, Math Pig. You lost
real quick.
Argument.
Real quick, sorry to cut you off again. If my mods are watching and P Mars decides to be a retard in the private chat, please just hide him.
He's saying never have I once used the N-word in any live stream ever. I will pay you $1,000. I'm a man of my word, not like some. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I at least try to. You know, there are some unseen unseen circumstances that can come up. I will pay him $1,000. How could you say that? I used the N-word? Seriously? I'd like him to back that up. If he backs that up, I will shut down my channel. If he backs that up with receipts, I will shut down my channel.
Yeah, real quick, that's Christina, if you're back, Christina, and you can stop that word from being put in my comment section, I would much appreciate it.
What the heck is PMars's problem with you, Jill? Why is he even involved in this garbage? What is his issue here?
No, he's upset with Quentin for not letting him in. He's not upset with me.
Yeah, I don't see the thing is I don't want to waste my time with somebody that's a shit tier troll. That's just my view. I don't want to waste my time on it.
I just don't know enough about him. I've interacted, like, I think none with him that I can remember, like, other than just seeing some of the things he said. Like, I don't.
He's been on my channel. He's been pretty cool on my channel. So
The only thing that happens, it seems when he gets pushed in the corner, he gets fucked.
Hopefully you can read the private chat praise and you see he's not so cool. He has this reputation. He's living up to being who P Mars is. So, maybe just glance in that private chat and see how cool P Mars is.
All right.
But I'll put the debate. I'm gonna leave. You can put me backstage and bring in Math Pig. But I'll put the debate. I'll put a link to the debate that we had in the side chat, in the private chat. You can watch it for yourself and see why he hates my guts. You can watch it for yourself.
All right, well, thanks for coming in, Jill.
Really, PMARS? Really, PMARS in private chat like 64 times? What is wrong with you, dude?
He's
and he's 30-something.
All right, let me talk real quick. Sorry, I know. And Rage, thank you for coming on, man. That's actually a fucking surprise for me.
I didn't see that coming.
I'm trying to share the live stream in case people want to watch this dumpster fire, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be the first dumpster fire morning show. And that's not talking shit about you or Smokey. I just know that you two don't like each other.
I was just like, I thought Jill was talking shit. Why is he bouncing?
He's afraid of me. He's afraid of me.
So, okay, I want to get this on the record because this was said yesterday. So, Rage, are you backing out of a debate with Jill or something like that?
No, Praise reads emails. Jill is just stupid. I've been very busy this week. I didn't check my emails for like 4 days. I put in 85 hours at work this week. I checked my email and I'm like, holy shit. And I apologize. And I said, I'll even take like all the shit talking. So I was hoping to get some of it. But Praise and Jill both knows I'm not backing out. I'm just a very busy person. And this week has been really, really hectic at work.
I can vouch for that. He canceled the Manda with the climate change because he couldn't get out of work. It was arranged in time and then the man got stuck at work. I can vouch for that.
All right. I will set this up, but I want to preface this. I want you guys to be somewhat respectful and not be total dicks, but I will allow certain things. If you and Smokey want to go at it when we bring up the Christian segment here in about 2 minutes, then feel free. Just remember, please try not to talk over each other. I will moderate if I have to. I don't like muting people. That's not my style, and talking vouch for that. But
you're very fucking professional.
I don't like that doing that shit either, because it's like people can control their own mouths now. They start getting disrespectful towards me on my channel, at least, that I start to kick them out.
Math Pig, you've known me for God knows like a year and a half now. When the fuck have I ever been professional?
That's why I'm saying that. You've got Nakasuchi here now, and you're like, oh fuck, I must actually sound like a channel and be professional.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh shit, high tier person. I gotta fucking
shit.
My ass to gear.
I'm gutter, man. I'm gutter. I've got an adult brain like a pickle.
And saying that,
I like that one.
Just there is a wee trick. There's a wee actual hack for StreamYards that makes using your OBS 100 times easier. If you're free later on today, I'm more than willing to give you a wee shout and show you that. It's a wee program that we've, Dave Critical Cripple actually made. And when you plug it into your StreamYards, for doing OBS, it makes everything 10 times easier.
Was this you were showing this to me, Math Pig, or who were you saying this to?
Oh, I'm checking that at Knock because he was talking about his channel. And
got it. Okay,
yeah. I am going to reach out. Now. I need to reach out to you, Matt Pig, about that. I have to work tonight. Maybe if I can get out of. Well, actually, no, I probably won't get out early. So maybe tomorrow morning, I'll hit you up.
Yeah. Who wants to be my favorite person? Who wants to be my favorite person and put this in Drag's Discord and other people's Discord? Because if I try to do it, StreamYard says, "Hey, fuck you, you can't do that," and then will make me refresh into the stream.
Well, then you're gonna have to
do it. I'm not in his Discord.
A wonderful stream, then, Quentin. Let's make it a fantastic.
I should probably join again, but
talking shite.
Yeah, I would, but I can't either because I need to get invites to everybody's Discord again because I have
honestly,
my whole.
I really only stick to my own Discord. I only stick to mine. I don't venture out that much.
All right, well, I'll do it this way. If I bounce out for more than a minute, Tog is in charge. Yeah.
That is true.
Go ahead. Okay, so we are talking about, it is the hour mark, so we'll go ahead and start this topic off. We are going to be talking about Job and the story of him. And, Fuck, what was I trying to talk about? I got to find my notes. Give me like a minute, but you guys can start that conversation off. Fuck. All right, go ahead.
What are we talking about?
Something about Job. I don't know about Job. Nah, why can't you just get a Job? Say away, say away.
Somebody was fighting shape, so
I always call him Job, but
Job. Me too.
in that like the dude that God was like, did a bunch of horrible shit to prove some lessons.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Basically, that's a very colloquial, straight line version of it, but
well, it's not necessarily God. It was Satan, but yeah.
It was God that did them.
I thought it was God.
It was God that did them. That's the point I think Nakasuchi's trying to make, is that God is the one that actually did these things, but it was the devil that asked him to try and prove this point.
God had to prove a point to Satan because, you got to get that one up on your competition.
Where the fuck do I post this? God bless it.
It's just like the Elohim. The Elohim are making beds in the divine council. This is what God was trying to show, that his people are stronger than the enemy's people. So that's all what's going on there.
Plus, I do hope you don't take Job to be like a literal person, because I'm pretty sure Job's just a metaphor.
It is. It's from what
I hope people don't take him to be like an actual living being, but I'm pretty sure Job's just completely metaphoric and not even a real dude.
In fact, even from the historical traditions, we get an idea that a lot of the vernaculars were added to, and basically this is their moral tale. This was the Jewish moral tale. This was the great moral drama. As if we would have a really like iconic type of moral play that would play out. Mm-hmm. It's not to say that Job didn't actually exist and wasn't a real person, but is this story actually based around this as a real legitimate historical narrative? I think there's actual good arguments one side or the other. So,
yeah, well, Job in the Hebrew means persecuted. Maybe it's a tale about Jesus. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, it could just be one of those, dramatic tales for the sake of actually painting a moral tale. It's not actually.
As human beings, we do exaggerate like a lot of stories that we tell, and it's not that we're trying to tell lies or anything like that. It's to make a point or to exaggerate the story to get the point across. Right?
Well, and remember too, Job is the oldest book of the Bible.
Okay, real quick, arithmetic oinker. Where the fuck do I plug a link in your channel, man? It won't let me post it. And the channel where most people post links, so I don't know where the fucking
community videos. It's community videos. Smokey's even figured it out, and he got it wrong once, and then he figured it out.
It says you don't have permission to send messages in this channel. That's my problem.
I'll up your role later. Doesn't matter. Post it in the general, and I'll fix it later.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, this will make a live stream, so we'll promote your channel, Quentin.
Yeah.
Yo, Matthew.
Yes, please.
So Jefferson, are we gonna set that up, buddy, or not?
I have asked him twice, and he said he will get back to me. The agreement that it is, praise, is if you come up with your sources and send me the sources at least 24 hours in advance, and he will do the same so that you can look over each other's sources and then have the debate.
All right, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to see that. But so back to our what people are saying about Job. Are the Christians going to recognize that if this is an exaggerated story, that maybe the whole thing is an exaggerated story?
Only if we have very, very shallow thinking and aren't able to take genre of literature into context. Sure.
Oh, sure. So why would Job be a metaphorical lesson about morality? And the rest of it we should take as history.
Because you can find the same story in the Book of Upright, and that's about Abraham. And then that story, it's talking about God is talking to Satan, and Satan's talking about, hey, look at your servant Abraham, how he used to go to every mountain, every hilltop, putting an altar on the hilltop in your name. In each and every land that he came to, on each hilltop, he put an altar in your name. And now that you've given him everything and you've done all these things for him, what has he done for you? Where are these new altars? How can you say he's doing good if he hasn't done all these things for you?
Well, sure.
And that's kind of like where the story of Job kind of gets from.
I'm willing to grant and would hope that the Bible is all allegory and metaphorical, and it was written and intended to teach morality to people 2,000 years ago. What I'm not willing to accept, or I think that is easily disproven, is that this is some book about history and this is the infallible word of God and we should take it as such. That is what I argue against, and it seems like a lot of Christians, or at least one or two Christians in this room, have a problem with it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you don't have the ability to actually discern.
Well, like, I don't have the ability.
You kind well clearly because to you it's either
are we back to the brain-addled pickle again?
Hang on, guys. Math Pig was trying to say something. Let him get his word out.
In reference, I don't think that Nakasuchi can't discern. I think the problem that
I'm about to explain why Math Pig.
Well, let Math Pig explain, and then I'll let you talk all you want, Doug.
Right. I think what the problem that's going to happen here is Nakasuchi is saying, look, the problem he has with the book is the people who take it full throttle as a book of history. And Smokey's saying, well, it's not all history. You just need to be able to discern, and you can't. Nakasuchi, I don't think, can't discern. I think the problem that people on, let's say, our side, put the fence up and say our side, have a problem is how do you discern? That's where we're getting at, is how do you know what is true and how do you know what is a story?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the meat of my question.
Study, scholarship, actually looking into it with honest intellectual criticism instead of just, the base level. Like, I don't understand how, like, it is this idea of being able to digest this text the most simple way possible, just so that you can defeat it. Like, I don't really understand this mentality.
Well, so we're again, like, you're not getting the gist of what either me or Math Pig are saying here. I'm an atheist. I don't believe that any of the shit is real. The problem is that Christians take this shit literally. So you're saying that you're saying that the way to get beyond that is for people to study and get into the nuance, and I totally agree with you. The problem is that that's just not feasible for most people. Most people go to their churches. Most people don't have the money to go to spend all this money or the time to spend all this time researching as in depth. They're going to trust their preachers, and that's the problem, is that their preachers are the ones who have went and did all this study, but are giving them literal interpretations, and so they believe it.
Is that something they're instructed to do scripturally, or is that something they're just doing of their own unction and cultural free will?
It has always been my position that preachers are con artists, and they're doing it on their own. I don't think scripture tells them anything outside of what you guys were implying to begin with, is that this is all metaphorical. This is all metaphorical about morality, to teach people in the ancient era morality.
Ray,
we're getting to the dumpster fire.
To like kind of discuss this sometimes, because like I say something and it's like you don't even listen. You just wait till I'm done talking to say your next thing. Like,
well, I'm trying to clarify to you, because you're projecting. I'm hearing everything you're saying. What you're not doing is hearing what we're saying. Right. So you want to project it onto me that I'm just this stupid person that can't fucking read the Bible, when in reality is you're just an idiot who refuses to listen to anybody.
I don't think I wouldn't say that.
I would say real quick. I want to say this.
Go ahead, Quentin.
Real quick. Hey, Todd, you smell that?
It smells like bitch in here.
It smells like burning garbage.
Oh, not that meme. Sorry. I thought you meant the meme. My bad.
It smells like bitch.
I love that meme. It smells like bitch in here.
Just in here in this conversation is Smokey, Praise, and Smokey, Praise, and Tog. Three Christians, different views. Tog, I would say, would take the Bible a lot less literal than Smokey would, and I would say Smokey would take the Bible less literal than Praise is. The problem is that an awful lot of us, Smokey, if you can just give me a chance, is a lot of people that we interact with on the internet are like this. You're having these conversations, it's built in to assume things. It's built into these phrases and words is what we've used, because this is the way it's been presented to us by 90% of the people that I'm pulling numbers out of my ass, but 90% of the people that we meet on the internet from the Christian side is screaming this sort of stuff that not the Christians are. So he's not wrong in what he's saying.
I also struggle with a lot of garbage Christians, Math Pig, that don't know their book. It doesn't help when people like rage,
if I
validate it. And
Nakasuchi's a friend of mine, and if I can just say one last thing, and then I'll defer back to yourself. Sometimes I find that Nakasuchi will scream Christian when what he should be screaming is fundamentalist. Because when you use the word Christian, that creates a fucking fire. Because this Christian is now screaming and shouting, going, "You're not telling me the truth. This is not who I am." Christian is a very broad term. Fundamentalist definitely means something vocally to us, but Christian is just a wide term.
I agree.
All right. Well, how about we do this? There are three non-believers. Oh shit! Yeah, Smokey, go ahead. Go ahead, Smokey. Sorry, go ahead. I'll shut the fuck up.
I'll go after Smokey.
This is why, like, this atmosphere just irritates me sometimes. Like, it was interjected for a nonsense. I'm sorry, Quentin, no offense, but an interjection for that nonsensical, stupid joke while I'm trying to actually make a response, and then a bunch of interjections and interruptions also keeping me from my response, and then you're just deciding to move on with the show. This isn't really giving me a feeling of a sense of a fair atmosphere here. Do you get what I'm saying?
All right, well, yeah, okay, so from now on, we'll let if someone's trying to make a point, we'll let that happen. I got scatterbrain. I was just going to say real quick, if you guys want to do this to make it a little bit more fair, I can't really debate, but I'll do my damnedest.
All right, go ahead, John.
So I just wanted to jump in and share my concern for Smokey. I mean, he's so picked upon. He doesn't ever get a chance to talk, and his point is so valid because he's never interrupted anybody in any of his discourse. I mean, he's always polite to everybody that he ever has a conversation with, and so I can understand where he's coming from. /S. And then I just want to let you know, I just DM'd you a photograph on Twitter, and I created the broadcast for tomorrow. If you want to put a thumbnail in, and then please use that really colorful drawing of Faye that I sent you a little while back.
All right. Yep, no problem. All right, so we're gonna get back to this, but Dragnauct will be coming in really soon now. I'm fairly certain he's in the chat at this point, and he should be jumping in really, really soon now. And we're going to get to the meat of the conversation now. Again, he's complaining that he's being talked over, but we're going to get the petulant child part coming really quickly, because once Drag comes in, and it's already kind of went there, it becomes a bitch fest about me. I'm so awful, I'm so stupid, I'm so ignorant, I can't possibly understand this Bible. That the only real good interpretation of the Bible is the way that Smokey does it, with his hermeneutical approach, which he will never ever really explain.
And the thing is too, and I point this out, in either this comment section of the video we're watching or in another one where we were talking about this nonsense. But what Smokey doesn't understand is he can say hermeneutics, exegesis, eisegesis all day long. That is still not explaining your method. Okay,
yeah, no.
And that is what they were trying to do, is to get him to explain his method, which he failed to do.
Yeah, and we'll get there, and they'll see it. But yeah, you're exactly right.
And the other thing, whatever the other thing was, I can't remember now.
Sorry, man. I jumped in on you. But yeah, we're gonna get there. But yeah, you're exactly right. That's what Drag tries to do. Well, Drag just tries to get him to understand that he's actually in a conversation, and Smokey never gets there.
I know what I want to say is that, fuck.
And you don't even have weed as an excuse, John. At least I have weed.
Getting old is a hell of a drug. But. Yeah, it was. That's what I was going to say. Is okay. So, an omnipotent being wrote a book, or guided human beings to write a book, and according to Smokey, he wrote a book that is like a fucking Rubik's cube. Okay, you know, you got to solve the riddles to be understand. You know, you can't just read the words and go with your reading comprehension. You got to know what the words really mean in other contexts other than what they actually mean. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay, so from that, what I get is that I would be a better omnipotent being than this God that they supposedly follow, because why wouldn't you make it, you know, a book that everybody understands if you want your message out?
I mean, and I've said that for years, John. Why doesn't God use his words? Right? Like, you know, I tell my child all the time, since she's been in school since she was 5, use your words, Ronnie. Use your words. You know, my child is named after me. She's Lil Ronnie, I'm Big Ronnie. You know, so use your words, Ronnie. So it's why don't God just do that? And you know, and we're about to get right back to this, but he might have already said it, or there's a part in this where he will say and claim that pretty much all of Christianity takes this same approach that he takes. All of Christianity reads the Bible and breaks it down so thoroughly with this exegesis and these hermeneutics. And that's not fucking reality. Most of Christianity, at least here in this country, takes it very fundamentally and literally. And I point that out to him nonstop. Like over half of Christians in America believe in young Earth. That's a fundamental, literal interpretation of the Bible.
Yeah,
so you can't get past that.
And real quick, I just want to say the link to the original video and the link to Quentin's channel are now in the video description. Please go sub to Quentin. He does morning shows quite a bit. And also, hello to Jefferson Spatchcock.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, chat? We're going to get right back into this, but we will be stopping briefly here in a moment again once Drag comes in, because I know that John wants to comment on a specific thing that's going to happen just before Drag comes into the conversation. So that'll be very soon. But yeah, let's get back into it.
We got 3 non-believers. We got 3 believers. Fucking make it a what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's not a
tag team match or some shit.
Not
3 on 3
tag team, because there's 3. Yeah, 3 on 3. I'll do my best. I know that Math Pig and Naka are way smarter than me, including you guys are smarter than me on this. So we will go ahead, Smokey, make your point, and then we will kind of go down the line from there.
Yeah, in a way, I see where Math Pig was coming from, and I appreciate the elaboration, because I think I'm kind of on the same page. The lack of discernment is a human condition problem. And I think Knock prefers to just basically try to conflate Christianity. I don't know if he's doing it in ignorance or if he's doing it because that's just how his mind works. I don't know. But it is part of the problem, because he claims to have an issue with one particular segment of Christianity one day, and then the next day he's got a problem with all of it again, and then the next day he's got a problem
I've been fairly clear I'm anti-Abrahamic for about 2 years now.
You see, Math Pig, do you see what I'm saying? How it kind of goes back and forth?
I mean, I don't know where you're getting this back and forth thing. I've been fairly clear I'm anti-Abrahamic.
Math Pig was just saying how you are clearly, usually when you're talking about Christians, your big problem is fundamentalists, and now you're saying, well, no, now that's not the case.
That's because Math Pig actually pays attention, and I am mainly talking about fundamentalists. But I'm very clear that I'm anti-Abrahamic. I believe that Abrahamics is harmful for society, so I fight against it.
Yeah, we get that. We get that.
Give me 1 sec to the person backstage. Tog, I'm going to put you backstage for a minute because I think Drag is here. So I'll do that real quick.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, did you? I heard it.
Yeah, can you back that up just like 30 seconds and let that play again after I say something here? All right. If you listen, and maybe you already picked up on it, I had to watch it for the second time to really pick up on it. But as soon as Drag's name is mentioned, there is this long, loud, audible sigh from Smokey Saint. He knows what's about to happen. And then see what happens after the sigh I'm referring to.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I heard it live. So I knew that Smokey was going to try to start backing out of this room because I heard that sigh is the moment that Dragnauct's name was mentioned. It was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Play that again and then let it keep playing.
All right.
Eddie, so I fight against it.
Yeah, we get that.
Give me 1 sec to the person backstage. Todd, I'm going to put you backstage for a minute because I think Drag is here. So I'll do that real quick. All right, go ahead, Smokey. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
You know, Quentin, I think this might be a waste of time. I can't actually operate with this atmosphere. I'm sorry.
No,
what are you talking about?
Go ahead, man. I just want to.
I literally have been trying to get one probably relatively simple point out for almost 7 minutes. Like, and you know,
Right.
Because you talk slow and you tell lies, but don't run just now that Drag's here.
I can't even. Well, I don't have an issue with Drag, and I don't think Drag has an issue with me. I think that really I need to have an actual structured environment to have this type of conversation. Because here's the thing, I can't have him just say a bunch of conflated, bigoted, narrow-sighted assertions all in a row right after each other, and then me not even able to respond for like 8 minutes. Okay, it's just not going to work. Okay,
Smokey, will you allow me this? Will you allow me this real quick? If you guys will allow Smokey to get his point off and then respond, I think that'll be fair. I think because I do kind of want to hear what Smokey has to say, and then I do want to hear what you guys have to say. So,
shut up and let him speak.
I'll mute and I'll just let him lie. Go ahead.
You see, like, do you see what I'm saying here? Like, and now we've taken it so far off the track where what am I even addressing now at this point? Am I addressing? Right. Let's talk about something. Okay, let's try to just bring this full circle then. You said that you were taught by Baptist preachers that Jesus was imperfect. Can you tell me where you were taught that?
Let me unmute. All right. So I also said I could, I don't know, I learned it somewhere. I figured it was probably from one of my Southern Baptist preachers down in North Carolina, but I've heard it quite a bit that there's the perfect man, or there's the imperfect man and the perfect God. But I've also said quite clearly in that same conversation that it's been something like 23, 24 years that I've been an atheist now. I haven't stepped foot inside of a church in that long. I've also spent hours upon hours scouring the internet for douchebags like yourself. So, I mean, I it's possible, and I said it in that conversation, that I didn't hear it from one of my preachers, but I have heard it several times.
So is that a lie? Is that a misrepresentation?
What? Well, I just told you what I said in that conversation.
Well, no, but I know what you said in the conversation was I got this from Baptist preachers, and now you're saying
no. I quite literally said when we continued talking about it that maybe I didn't get it. I don't fucking know, Smokey.
Was it a lie?
No, it's not a lie. What the fuck are you even talking about? I clarified it in that conversation with you.
So when you said I got taught by Baptist,
you don't listen to shit.
That this is what it was, and then you backtrack it because you are inconsistent. You are consistently inconsistent. It's the only thing you're consistent about is your inconsistencies. Now, I guess, it's just weird to me, Knock, that you get to basically just say whatever you want, and even when it contradicts, you call it a clarification. It's just so weird and so shallow-minded. Like I just
okay. Can I cut in here because it just seems like a worthless conversation. So I sat and I listened to you complain, Smokey, for quite some time that you never got a point in. And then when you finally get to the point, you're not actually making one, right? You're browbeating. Hold on. You're browbeating somebody because of a miscommunication, right? So is there a salient point that you're actually trying to make, or just browbeat someone? So
yes, I am. Drag. Will you let me finish?
How about this?
I was supposed to be allowed to talk, was I not?
Okay. And you're interrupting somebody else who's responding to you. I sat and I listened to that. Okay.
Was I supposed to be allowed to talk?
Yes, you were. And then you stopped, and then Naka started responding. And then as he started offering his clarification, you cut him off twice. I sat here and listened to it.
I'm about to finish my point, which you're telling me I'm not landing.
Okay, so let's cut down on the browbeating and actually make a salient point other than needless whining. Okay.
So he can say whatever he wants. You're fine with that. Once I start speaking, if I don't fit your spectrum of what you want to be said, you get to interject and make that statement of emotion noise. Is that?
I'm only asking that you whine less. I'm only asking that you whine less.
All right, well, hang on. Let's get back and forth.
Worry about not expressing your emotions while I'm trying to make my point. How about that?
All right, Smokey, let's get back to the point, man. You were trying to make a point, and I want to kind of get this conversation going.
Virtue signaling.
Go ahead and say what you're trying to say, Smokey, and then we will let him finish completely, guys, and then I will let the other side answer the question or the thing that he's trying to say. So go ahead, Smokey. You got the mic.
That is the issue, is that perspective that he paints and presents from a stance of ignorance. It's this adoption of the mainstream perspective as that which is promoted, that which is the true interpretation. And what it is it sometimes in his form of conflation with the Christian claims is he ends up lumping us all together with people that we're actually trying to diffuse as well. Where he could be potentially being a proactive source to get what he actually wants, he actually ends up torpedoing a lot of efforts because of this type of very shallow thinking, presenting these things that aren't actually true. And then when he's called out on it, he uses contradictions as a means of which to justify clarification. And it's very frustrating. So my point is, when he interprets the book the way that he wants and then criticizes it, that's what he's choosing to validate too, because he's not paying attention to us or giving us any credit at all. He's calling us the same type of degenerate morons. So he's conflating. He's not actually engaging in any type of rational discernment. So then that carries forward into the book. He doesn't have the ability to look at it and discern it from any semblance of, some might be actual literature, some might be history, some might be songs, some might be any of these things. He just looks at it as it has to be this one thing. And that's problematic for me, because that's exactly what the fundamentalists do. And I don't like that either. So if I'm battling that type of interpretation, I'm going to have an issue with him as much as I will the fundamentalists, which I also talk about regularly. I had a whole debate with Nephilim Free yesterday on his fundamentalist views. So, I mean, clearly I'm trying to do something that he doesn't even have the ability to give me credit for. And I just find that to be really low character.
Okay, so are you actually done?
Sure, I'm done. I yield.
Okay, so all right. So the issue here is that you're trying to conflate. It's funny you use that term. Someone's inability to accurately depict a demographic of people with their ability to have textual criticism for a piece of literature. There's actually no correlation between those two things. And I think it's funny that you try to make that connection.
Okay, say that one more time.
I'm not going to repeat myself.
Well, what are you trying to correlate? What are you saying I'm correlating?
So there's two corollaries here. There's Naka's, I guess, inability, right, to discern the distinction between a demographic of people, right, that being Christians, and then his ability to discern text, to use textual criticism for the Bible. Those two things are not corollaries.
Well, I'm saying it's the both of them are a product of the same type of shallow linear thinking.
Right. This is hermeneutics.
Yeah.
He doesn't give an effort to try to work out hermeneutics at all. That's what I think Smokey's trying to point out.
Praise. Yeah, that's the best way.
Okay, so someone's ability to discern a specific type of hermeneutics has nothing to do with their demeanor or their impression of people. Those things have nothing to do with one another.
Well, it might. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily ability drag. It might be character choice. Like some people can know what's better for them and choose not to do it for any, personal motivator, including laziness. It has to do whether or not you decide to apply yourself. And I don't think he wants to. It's not that. Here's the thing. I don't think Christianity or even digesting the Bible is really beyond anyone in terms of brain power. Maybe some of the more complex topics are a little bit harder to grasp, like free will and determinism and things like that. But that's not a requirement of the salvific message. So I just think that many times Knock is really almost trying to create a very, very weak version of Christianity to attack, as opposed to obeying hermeneutics, cross-reference, concordance, scholarship, things like that. Because if this book is important, if it's meaningful, if it has any substance to the claim, shouldn't it be given at least that level of scrutiny, or should it just be looked at the most base surface level and criticized that way? I think the former is more preferable.
And I absolutely agree that you can assess any text, right, and accurately depict what's in it as far as its interpretations and use concordances, so on and so forth, such as Dr. Josh Bowen. But his impression of the people who represent the demographic of people who love that text and who abide by it has absolutely nothing to do with that argument at all. So it just seems like a worthless effort for you to comment. Yeah. Well, so cool. So are you his psychologist?
No.
Okay. Do you know? Hold on for a second. Do you know his mind better than him?
No. Well, I don't even know if he knows his mind, so I have no way to how to possibly answer that.
So how? So
I go off of.
I'm not actually done yet. So what?
How many questions do you get to ask? How many questions do you get to ask?
Three. Just three. I always ask three. So how are you determining? What metric are you using to determine someone's mental state in relation to their ability to be objective?
Mental state has nothing to do with it. I never said anything about that in terms of a mental state. What I'm saying is my observation is he's demonstrating a theme of very shallow, narrow-sighted thinking on digestion of information and reality. I'm noticing it's an observation drag. Maybe you have an issue, an emotional angst against observations you disagree with, but you don't need to turn this into some sort of posturing contest where you basically get to put credentials up to play as to whether or not I get to make an observation, okay? If you want to be that petty, you're a waste of time.
Okay, when did I say I disagree with you?
Drag, I get it now. I fully understand the interactions with you and G-Man now. It makes a lot more sense. By the way, it is entertaining. I will tune in to a Drag and G-Man show every once in a while, just to stick in the water and for how hot it is. It's interesting. I do appreciate the entertainment you provide to the community.
That didn't answer my question.
I don't know.
Real quick, guys, let's get back to the point because Drag did ask a question. Let's get back on that.
Sure. Go ahead, Drag, one more time.
Okay, when did I say I disagree with your assessment?
You didn't.
Okay, so why did you presume that I disagreed with you?
Because you're challenging it.
No, so so this is the fun part. What specifically am I challenging, Smokey?
Whether or not I am qualified to make an observation about someone.
No, that is actually not what I'm challenging. So thank you for demonstrating exactly what I was saying.
Okay, clarify then.
I clarified it 2 separate times. You wind in between.
Okay. So I reiterate what I believe you were attempting to say, and instead of clarifying, you just say, well, I already clarified it. This is how you converse?
Yes, actually I do, because you're not paying attention.
All right. Well,
it's called active listening. Okay. You spent like the last few minutes talking about a topic that had nothing to do
with petty.
Now
you fit what you
I asked you, look, you wanted me to give you respect and not interrupt you, and I did. Can you reciprocate that?
I think we're done, Drag. I don't think you're interested in making
sense. Well, hang on.
So interesting.
So real quick, I want to ask Drag to reiterate the point because I kind of missed it. Well, Drag, will you do that for me?
Can you pause here for a minute?
There is no actual correlation between your assessment of someone's behavior, mental state, and their ability to discern the facts about any particular piece of literature. Right. So I can have an impression about any demographic of people, but that's not a reflection of my ability to discern anything about any text, any textual criticism, especially including the Bible. So trying to attach those two things and this observation you're making about someone's character has absolutely nothing to do with it.
You said ability. And again, so completely far off my point when you said ability, because now it shows that while you're so desperate to make your point, you didn't actually hear mine. Because ability wasn't part of the component. You finally finished it with the tail end where you probably should have started it, which is about personal character and determination to either pursue it with the most level of intellectual integrity, like, the rest of the population that happens to actually believe it, or to approach it the way that the rest of the, dumpster troll atheists online approach it. And that's a choice. That's a choice of character. So I get to make my observation about that choice. And I also get to make the other observations about other things that seem to also follow thematically from that type of choice. So, and I get to do that, Drag, because it's a free country, and I get to make those observations, and my audience really enjoys it. So if you have an issue with it,
Oh, go ahead, John. Let me get it on the right screen.
What? Oh, okay. So you got my text then?
Yeah, dude. I've been watching the side chat. Sorry, I didn't hear you tell me to stop.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out how a few moments ago when Smokey started laughing after Drag had said, well, when did I say I disagreed with you? And he's totally missing what's going on here. Okay, he thinks that Drag is playing him. He thinks that Drag is just trying to create laws for the audience, but Drag is doing what Drag always does. he's using the Socratic method to expose Smokey's shortcomings. Okay, and Smokey is basically for most of the exchange, he is not actively listening to his interlocutors. He is simply waiting for them to stop talking so that he can make the point he already wanted to make.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with Drag's arguments and everything to do with me as a person, me, how I think, how I read books. We'll get there later in the conversation where they're literally going to assume that they know how I think as I'm reading books, how I read books and interpret books. So, I mean, I put it in the side chat, like my very existence triggers Icky Taint, and he can't get beyond that to understand what's happening right here with the conversation with Dragnauct. And I'm just sitting there on mute the whole time. Like the whole time he's just disparaging me and insulting me. I'm sitting there on mute, just laughing my fucking ass off.
Well, and the thing is too, is like, and just, a word of advice to people, maybe have never encountered Dragnauct. If you ever encounter Dragnauct in an exchange of discourse, don't try and figure out where he's going, okay? Because he'll ask you questions, and you will formulate an idea of where you think he's going. But I guarantee you, for the most part, you're going to be wrong, okay? Because he asks very specific questions, in given situations, to try and make the person he's having a discourse with reveal things about themselves that they don't even realize that they're revealing. But yeah, let's go on.
All right. So, yep. And I sent a link to this one guy. And if Quentin sends me an email, I'll send him a link. But when you guys come in, again, we're reviewing it. I will be stopping it at least one more time to expose Smokey for the fake scholar that he is. But we're saving most of the commentary for after, and we'll have a discussion. I think I can go to about 2:30 before I have to get ready for work. So we're going to get right back into it. You guys come in and just throw yourselves on mute or whatever. And then we'll definitely have some commentary after.
Pick a number.
Cool. So I asked you what the metric you use to determine that. You still not answer that question.
Oh, my personal observations, like everything else that we judge in reality.
Okay. That's okay. Thank you for answering that.
So like when I say that he is very shallow in his judgment of Scripture, he's very shallow in his judgment of Christians. He's very shallow in his judgment of policies and politics and procedures and laws and history and culture and context and philosophy. When I see a thematic theme of a very shallow-minded application in all of these things, yes, I might ultimately draw a conclusion, an observation that someone is indeed either shallow-minded or lacking in character to apply their abilities where they would best be suited to actually digest information honestly and with critical thinking. So whether or not he has the ability to do so, I don't know. But either he doesn't have the ability or he doesn't have the character. And to me, it's one or the other. If you have a third option, I'm willing to hear it.
We're highlighting his disposition when he approaches the text. He's coming at it from a shallow viewpoint. That's a disposition. All you have to do is come from more of an objective standpoint, and that's what we're trying to, drive Naught to do that. So
both of you forgot the brain added like a pickle part. I just want to remind how this conversation started was a conversation about Job and how you two were saying that this was just a metaphorical play on morality. I agreed with that. And then you started to attack my ability to be able to read your Bible. I simply asked how you can take that part of the Bible to be a metaphorical story about morality and not apply that to the rest of the Bible. See, your positions seem to be very inconsistent.
Again, this is
hermeneutics. Yeah, hermeneutics. And again, we've now answered it 3 times. He will repeat the same question.
So again. Yeah, so no, I understand. Like, so you say that I can't
I don't have the ability to understand these things, right? But like I totally understand. Like, so when I'm talking about
Knock, let me try to make it super simple.
Well, can I finish? I sat here very, 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 very quiet for a long time while you did nothing.
It's just you're still not getting it, and I'd rather make it real simple.
Let me fucking finish for a fucking minute, and then I will mute my fucking shit again, okay? So shut the fuck up.
He's interrupting again.
So
all right, hang on, real quick, Knock. Sorry, I don't like cutting people off, but I do want to say this, guys. Like when someone's trying to make a point, even if you don't agree with it or you think that they're missing your point, try to let them finish. You know, I will let everyone talk. I know Math Big has been kind of quiet. I will let everyone talk and get to their point. So go ahead, Naka, and then Smokey. I think you wanted to reply to it. So after Naka, you can.
So you want to sit here and say that I can't do all of these things when I perfectly have explained to you 1,000 times that I understand your position. When I'm talking about Noah's flood, you want me to go to the fucking Romans, whatever it is, to where you can describe to where Noah was out preaching and all this shit. Blah, 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 blah. The problem is I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any of these things. The problem is the demographics say that a large chunk of Christianity believes these things. And I do try to actually distinguish between the two. You claim that I don't, and I understand that by talking about fundamentalism a lot, that does get conflated. I try to combat against that, but to claim that I don't have an understanding of these things is just you being a hyperbolic dipshit, which is what you do, and we've seen it here today. I'm done.
I'm going to try to.
Why are you bringing to us whether you believe it or not? Like, you're telling us your bias when you come into the text in the first place. Like, you're actually highlighting, like, what your bias in the text. Come on, Knock.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, he's actually highlighting exactly his own failure and attempting to use it as his justification. It is amazing. It is amazing how someone will actually operate this way, Knock. Like seriously, you depress me sometimes. I mean that.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like the amount of, I mean, it really, seriously.
The amount of butthurt from Christians in this room is really, really crazy. Oh, the atheist doesn't do it like
you're stigmatizing the text. You're self-admitting, like you're stigmatizing the Bible.
Exactly.
Can we lay off like the behavior of a petulant child and actually get to the salient points? Because I mean,
we already did. We already did. Drag. Did you not catch it? Did you not catch it, Drag? Or
no, sorry. I must.
His approach to hermeneutics is sloppy. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to care.
Yo, you guys are talking over each other. Go ahead, Drag.
So can you guys offer, right? What specific hermeneutic technique are you guys using in lieu of whatever Knock is not doing? How about that?
General.
Literary genre is one of them.
Yeah, literary genre. General. And I do mean general textual criticism, Drag. Like you know, I mean one chapter in a concordance or a commentary or even just one article from a scholar like Heiser or Brown or White. And you would see how incredibly inane and shallow and nonsensical it is to interpret the text the way Knock does. But he just says, well, you know, this is how I read it. I'm an atheist. I don't believe it anyway. So this is how it has to be read.
Right,
He's admitting to wanting to intentionally find a way to be dishonest to the text. And you know what? Why the hell should we respond or even respect someone
how is it dishonest to the text when I'm literally putting the text on the screen, reading it word for word? How is that dishonest?
Still can't get it.
That's called cherry picking.
I'm putting the whole chapter up word for word. Word for word. How's that cherry picking?
I would like to ask a question because I am fucking lost in all of this. Sorry. So I'm going to let Smokey kind of clear up your point real quick so I can catch it. And then Drag and Naka, you had a point.
No, I'm done. I know I don't really have anything else to say at this point.
It's just trying to face you. That's all it is.
It's so funny.
Can I just say, right? I've been quiet for ages. Can I just have 30 seconds here? I've been quiet for absolutely ages and just sitting back and watching this, right? And Naka's tried twice. And Smokey, you can say what you want, man, right? I'm fair as it is. You know that yourself. I've seen Nakasuchi try twice to bring it back to the Job and to the original question of the point he was trying to make.
Sure.
Then you said you need to study more, and you're too stupid to do it. That's not really a response. That's what this, and then it's been back and forth. You've been screaming at each other, but that's basically what it is. Is he's tried to make his point, and you say you need to study. That's how you'll find out where it is. That's how you know that we can tell when something's a metaphor and something's real. Study really hard, but you're too fucking stupid to do it.
No, well, not stupid. Not stupid.
You didn't say stupid. Where did Smokey
I am shortening it down. He is being.
Well,
no,
hang on, let him finish. Let him finish.
I was quiet. That's exactly what he did.
Disrespect, Matt. I didn't say that.
I never said you did, man. I'm shortening it down. I'm paraphrasing. You're being passive aggressive. That's basically what you're saying. All right, that's why this whole thing.
All right, so we'll take a brief breather, not too long. I just want to acknowledge this one guy, and Quentin Phipps is both here, and we will have a very detailed discussion about this conversation after. I will be stopping it one more time here soon, I think, to just show and stay true to the title and show why Smokey is this fake-ass scholar. But real quick, what's up, this one guy and Quentin Phipps?
Yeah, and I just want to point out real quick before they respond to the audience, look, don't be scared. Quentin is a ginger, but he never goes on camera, so.
Well, sometimes he does.
I know. I just have to say that to Quentin because he gets so triggered when I mention the ginger stuff.
Thanks for having me on, Knock. I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, I wish
I'm driving.
Yeah, your mic is always jacked up when you're driving, Tog. But yeah, it's good to have both of you guys on the show. Hopefully Tog isn't driving once we're done with the conversation. We still have a good half hour left of this conversation, y'all. So yeah, we're gonna get back to it, and I will be stopping it one more time, but we'll let it play through, and then we'll get to the commentary and we'll talk about the conversation and what fun we had this day. But yeah, we're gonna get back to it.
We're saying his approach to the text is sloppy. That's what we're saying.
All right, hang on. I want to kind of get back on point about the Job thing, and I want you guys. That's the conversation I kind of want to have with you guys in here. And the whole point that I was trying to bring up is, whenever I brought Job as the subject, is, can we say even if Job is a metaphor in the Bible, can we say that it is taught more to be fearful of God and thankful for the things that we have and not what we want? Or is it something that we should just not teach our kids? That's kind of the point that I was trying to bring up, and I lost it.
I think metaphor is maybe even the wrong word, because, again, to us, it's like, think of like Shakespeare in his day, taking real life, occurrences and stuff and creating this long drawn out, clearly long drawn out play type of structure. We have to discern the literature. We look at the literature. We know that Job, number one, is the oldest book. Okay, the oldest of all the books in the Bible. So its necessity to be preserved predominantly through oral tradition is extremely strong. So this is part of the criticism of the literature, which leads us to believe it's less likely a strict, rigid historical context than it is a type of morality tale, a drama, a play, something that was used as a cultural context to discern certain moral truths or establish more critical thinking or deeper thought about the world. It's not meant to be taken in this incredibly base surface, context in a very fundamentalist way, which it many times is. And I battle that. And it's a struggle for me sometimes to see the atheists promoting exactly that, as opposed to maybe saying, well, fundamentally.
All right, so
can I just say real quick?
Let's get up here. Yeah, go ahead real quick.
If you listen really closely, you can just hear the one tear rolling down Smokey's face when he says that he struggles with that.
Yeah, and this is his, playing his small little violin, tugging on some heartstrings. Well, I'm trying so hard and Nakasuchi's just fucking it all up.
I also want to point out I completely fucked up the point that I was trying to make, and we'll get to that after the whole video is over with. But yeah, fucked that up royally, and I didn't catch it till like I watched it the second time.
Yeah, well, but here's where I wanted to stop and really point out that Smokey Saint just doesn't know what the fuck he talks about. He is off and wrong and lies, and he has no scholarship to him. So I'm going to pull this up. He quite clearly right there said that the book of Job is the oldest book in the Bible. He quite clearly said that, right?
More than
quite
once.
Clearly, more than once. All right, so hopefully the audience can read this. It might be a little small. Here, let's put it up on full screen. All right, so this is when books of the Bible were written. Now, up here in the very early, you get shit like first Isaiah, Micah. They're starting to put together the Deuteronomic history, which would be Joshua, Judges, Samuel, Kings. They get that together here in between the 5th and 6th century BCE, right? And then you have the 4th to 5th century BCE time period. And this is where you get your Torah, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, all of these books. Through rabbinic tradition, the Torah was written by Moses, but scholarship agrees that it wasn't, and it was written in this time period here. Then you get down here to Job, all the way down here in the 2nd to 3rd century BCE. And there's not many shits written after that, Smokey Saint. So when you're coming here and trying to speak with authority about a Bible that you know so well, you should at least be fucking right.
And it should
about
be pointed out too that not only do most people believe that Moses didn't write the Torah, but that there's no archaeological evidence or any evidence that Moses even existed. There's no evidence that the Exodus actually happened. According to the Bible, these Jews were 40 years going across the desert, and there's not one piece of archaeological evidence that can be found to show that that's true.
Yeah, and if you look at it on a map and calculate it with Google Maps, I think you could walk. You could take that journey and walk in about 12 to 14 hours, maybe. It took him 40 years, though. But all right, we're gonna get back to it. The rest of the commentary, we got about 29 minutes left, so I'm just gonna let this play. Again, if there is something that you absolutely want to address, just holler at me loudly, because I missed John at one point already. Holler at me and I will stop it. Yeah.
I did want to address one quick thing. The moderation for this particular stream, I was kind of taking Math Pig's advice on it, and he was telling me just to sit back and watch the shit show. Normally we do a bit more moderation, Tog and I do, but since we can only have 6 people, Tog wasn't in here as much as he should have been, and we have a new channel for the morning show, so we do it a little differently. This isn't a constant thing, but we do like to have shit shows here and there. So
shit shows are where it's at, and don't worry about the moderation, especially in conversations like this. You have 3 very dominant personalities in this room right here, and I would say Math Pig is a personality of his own. And Praise, he's just a little leech boy that will leech on to whoever he thinks is smarter than him. So, but when you got Smokey Saint, who's clearly alpha, but you got Dragnauct, who knows his shit better than most, and you got me, and I don't pretend to be some scholarly intellectual, but I have charisma. Right. And I can really take over a conversation, and
oh, yeah.
I know the truth about myself,
Dude, if it wasn't for you guys, I'd still be at like 50 subs. So I really got to thank you guys for that.
Well, yeah, and I like doing morning shows, especially now that I'm not making so many edited videos. I have more time for it, so I'll come on. I'll come on occasionally, but we're gonna get back into it, and I'm gonna let it play, and then after it's done, we'll discuss what the fuck happened in this conversation.
Scandalous, you guys are stupid. Why don't you look at, some of these others the way it actually maybe should be interpreted and read? It's like you're just interested in calling all of us stupid, as opposed to maybe using what we're doing to point out that maybe they're having some faulty interpretations, or not dealing with the text critically, or maybe engaging in unethical, inconsistent Christian practices in terms of what they decide to align themselves with, like Catholics. Why not focus on some of these things where you actually use the book to actually go against the people you don't like, just like we do the Muslims. We don't go to Christian or atheist sources to combat the Muslims. We go straight into their sources, and we use their scholars, their interpretations to diffuse them and their perspectives. Why don't you guys do that? Why don't you have that level of integrity and intellectual honesty? Why do you go to atheist, brain-dead websites to pull all your information and points? Why don't you ever actually go to us? I don't get it.
That was fucking funny.
Just real quick, because Matt, I know you're chomping at the bit. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Smokey, was that the whole extent to your point that you were trying to make for people?
I yield. Yep, we're good.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Go ahead, Drag.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure when Naka has ever denied that there are other interpretations other than like the Ellen G. White literalist interpretation. I'm pretty sure he knows that other intelligent, more well-read Christians exist, because I've actually heard him reference that. On a second point, though, I think it is interesting that for some weird reason that you can only go to Christian sources to, I guess, impugn the text, which it would seem odd if you're trying to do a criticism and then only relegating the sources to the very people who think it's the truth anyway, right? So it shouldn't actually matter what the source is. The facts behind whatever it is that they're using to criticize it should matter, right? So that tells me right there that that's an interesting little bit of bias that Smokey's promoting here. And you could even say it's fallacious. But I want to go ahead and pass it off to Math Cake, because I think he has quite a bit to say about this.
No, it's called scholarship. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Are there no atheist scholars?
I don't know. Well,
we reference them. Knock doesn't.
Okay, so when you talk about only going to Christian sources, right, and you acknowledge that there are atheist sources, you see the problem there.
I'm saying to do an internal critique, if you're going to external sources to do an internal critique, you're a moron. And if you're supporting that type of action, you're a double moron. So which one do you want to be, Drag?
I'm not sure you actually understand what that is, but okay. It's okay.
Sure. It's okay, Drag. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it is.
Oh my goodness, you are really sensitive. I didn't realize you.
Yeah, he's a snowflake. He's a snowflake.
All right, real quick, Matt wanted to say something, and then we'll get back to you.
I was just going to make pretty much the similar point. I was going to say it's very circular, that it's whenever someone like Smokey, you're saying that he is using the points of fundamentalists, but you want him to use the only Christian sources. You want him to go down that route and use them to prove you wrong, but when he does, he's wrong.
I think it's the best way for him to get what he wants.
It's the best way for him to get where he wants, but when he's trying to do it, you're throwing it back in his face and saying, right, well, you're using this, I'm not that. So we then use sources like atheist sources and things like that will correlate with some of the things that you agree with, but we can't use them because they're not Christian sources. And the reason they're Christian sources is because they believe in a God, and already they're biased from the get-go.
Let me make it easier for you in terms of an argumentation. Let's draw it into the real world perspective real quick. So let's say you are arguing with a Christian. Are they going to, do you think that they're going to have an easier time accepting what you have to say when you show them an atheist website with a list of
I don't go to any atheist websites. I don't read the fucking Bible. I haven't read it in absolutely years because do you know why? It boils down to the point with all your scholarship, from all your bias, whoever you look at, you've got your points, and I want to ask you what you feel about it, what you think about it. And you're going, well, you haven't read my Bible, so I don't want to talk to you. Oh, you haven't read my specific version and agreed with this and looked at it, and then coming at me with a different...
That's really disrespectful.
I am asking you. I don't want to fucking talk about your book. That's the reason I don't go to it.
Then
you asked a direct question. You asked a question 5 minutes ago, and I didn't get a chance to speak because I was cut off, and I just was quiet again. Your direct question was, Why do we not go? Why do we keep using all these atheist sources and this, that, and the other?
Yes.
I don't. All right. I
didn't. Maybe you don't, Matt. Maybe you're an exclusion. Why would you stop being triggered by it? Why don't you let the other people who I think do that respond to it then? Okay. Clearly it wasn't directed at you, dude.
Well, what you're speaking with a broad brush and accusing all of these people, I'm included in that. You're just proving the point.
Okay, well, you excluded yourself. Maybe Drag is excluded too. I don't know. I don't see Knock ever do that, what I just said.
Maybe now, you should direct that towards Knock. I'm just saying, like, it's a really easy point, right? Don't generalize. It's
and it's just not true. It's so you're talking about one specific series on my channel to where I am talking about the Bible chapter by chapter. And I have told you repeatedly that it is a literal interpretation and it is designed to be somewhat funny. Like I am having a joke. It's my fucking joke. It's my channel. I have the freedom. You say this is a free country. I have the freedom to do so. Absolutely. So, but I mean, it's. And I have literally brought scholars onto my channel and have had really, really deep conversations. I don't just go to atheist sources. I actually read a lot, Smokey. You just like to assume that you know me, my motivations, and what I think, and you want to imply that I should do what I do in the manner that you would approve of. And I just tell you repeatedly to fuck off with that. I am going to be me because I have that freedom to be me. I've had Christians like you trying to shut me down my whole life, homeboy, and you're just another one. You're just another one.
I'm trying to shut you down. I'm just trying
all the fucking time. You want me
not? Can you pause for a minute?
You're the one that can't get out of the get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, just real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just real quick. I just wanted to address something in the live chat and save me a lot of typing. Les Nagy, my brother. There would be archaeological evidence if an entire an entire nation of people were in that desert for 40 years. There would be, pottery. There would be evidence of camps that they set up, and it's in the desert. So a lot of those things would have been preserved because of the environment in a desert. So.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's something that I'll bring Dr. Josh on and we can have a conversation about, because I think he knows a lot of archaeologists and might have some. I'll reach out to Dr. Josh on that topic, because like I was telling Les Nagy, it's just not an area that I've really looked at. I've seen a few things, and I think that maybe that there's evidence that the Jews weren't slaves in Egypt, that they were a warrior class that was actually had a pretty high social standard in the society. I guess I can't think of how to say what I'm trying to say, but yeah, that I might reach out to Dr. Josh Les, and maybe we'll get a historical.
I mean, and just think about it from the standpoint. Okay, there's archaeological evidence of all the eras of humanity. The Stone Age, the first. So there would be archaeological evidence, because there would have been items that they used that couldn't be destroyed by nature. There's going to be items that, people and animals had to have died during that exodus. There would be evidence of that, because there would still be bones preserved in a desert environment. So it's wrong to say, how could there be any archaeological evidence? There's archaeological evidence of humanity going back 200,000 years.
So yeah. I'll definitely start looking into that less, and maybe I'll make videos. Maybe I'll bring Dr. Josh on, and he can share some history. But I want to get back into this, so we can get to the end and have about a half an hour conversation about it. So let's get back into it.
And get away from my little series that nobody watches. I just have fun.
Dude, I don't even care about
have serious fucking discussion about it.
Dude, no one cares about it. No one watches it. Everyone
obviously you do, because you sat here for an hour talking shit about me.
Yeah,
when I've just been quiet.
Bro, the point's been made. Like, the community, you are a giant laughing stock to the community because of that series. And if you want to keep doing it at this point, I am not going to stop you. It is hilarious. It is hilarious. Like, because we have made our point. We made our point today about your intention.
People enjoy
to
it.
actually intentionally
People
handle
enjoy it, and I enjoy how it triggers you.
Fine. Well, it doesn't anymore. I don't care. It's served its purpose.
Anymore.
You have spent the last hour triggered as fuck.
How do you define triggered exactly?
I mean, just go back and
you just acknowledged. You literally just acknowledged that it bothered you.
What did? But he said triggered.
But it did. That's literally.
Can I talk to Knock Drag? Can you just back up from the bodyguard service for just a second?
Actually, I wanted to interject for a second because I have to go. Like, it's first day of graduate school. I got some homework to do, and I felt like my IQ lowered 20 points getting in here. But thank you for the conversation.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you for coming in, Drag. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, not a problem. You know, I come in every so often. All right.
Yeah, man.
Fun.
Good talking to you again, dude.
Yeah, this just kind of reminds me of why, like, the flexing e-cred online versus actually doing stuff in real life. Well, wow. Okay. 2010 all over again.
Speaking of which, I have a half-naked girlfriend waiting for me, so I'm going to bounce as well.
Hey.
All right, that's big. Dragnauct, thank you both for coming on. And you guys have a good one.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Great fun. Talk again.
All right. I'll be watching later. Bye.
See yous.
All right, let me get Tog in here, and I think Wiley, I'll let you in just a second, man. Lord came back.
Man,
I think he was on your
like 20 minutes to
I appreciate Dragnauct's contribution of pure logical cancer. Thank you, Drag. Thank you, Drag, for showing that everything atheism touches turns to absolute garbage, including conversations.
That was so beautiful.
Wonderful.
Let's Jill.
Hold up. I've been waiting for goddamn near ever to get my goddamn point across, and I will make it mad and moan because it's just small. The only thing I would say about discernment is that to get a proper, true discernment, one would have to be in the spirit to do so. Not saying that there isn't. A lot of atheists seem to be against spirit and all that, but we could read it from a perspective and get it, but to truly understand it, the best way to do it would be from in the spirit. That's all I wanted to say since the beginning, and that's it.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. You got to pause here for me.
Oh, that's a good one. I like it.
So, Tog, and I don't know if you're in a position yet to respond. I mean, we can wait till the end, but I just wanted to point out, how could anybody come to Christianity through the Bible? Are you saying that you'd have to be in the spirit before you were a Christian to understand the Bible? I mean, I don't understand how you have to be in the spirit to understand the Bible, because then if you aren't a Christian, how are you going to understand the Bible to become a Christian and be in the spirit? But he must not be in a position to respond.
Yeah, he might not be ready yet. I think I do kind of call that out as we move forward, though. Yeah, we'll get back into it, and maybe he'll be in a position to where he can talk when it's over. We got 20 minutes left, and then I might have a little bit of a surprise for the very end of the show.
You know, isn't it interesting how the Catholic will always join the God haters? Isn't that interesting?
Sergeant
Soygent.
All right, let's get back to the point.
Another person that has obviously tickled the buttholes of some Christians in this room. All right, we don't need.
I don't know your guys' problem with Sarge. I've never had a problem with any interaction.
We don't need to fight on my.
I apologize.
All right, real quick, guys, hang on. I want to read this out. Math Big says, "Thank you for that, Quintin Phipps, the random ginger, Smokey, no hard feelings."
Yeah, thank you, Math.
I know Naka has a limited amount of time before he has to leave, and I think you had a point you wanted to make, man. And if you did, I wanted you to go ahead and do that. So I know you have shit to do.
Cool. Can I?
So
speak next? Me?
Naka, did you? Yeah,
I've been talking most of the time, so I'm just going to yield at this point.
So my whole point here is that, I just love how people can try to assume things about people, right? You can sling all these insults at me all you want. You can talk about a community that despises me. I'm not sure what community you're referring to. If you're referring to like the Christian community, I applaud that. I welcome that. I would think otherwise of them if they felt differently about me. I'm the raging atheist. I'm supposed to be the bulldog. I'm the one that gets down in the mud with people like you, Smokey. But I'm also the person that gets out of the mud and has deep conversations with Randall Rouser or Scott Paith or truly intellectual Christians like you say that I don't do. Like I don't
like myself.
Yeah, like TOG, Richard, Matt. I've had plenty of really good conversations with Christians of so many different ilks. The problem with you is we saw it today with Dragnauct. When you can't defeat me as a person, you resort to insults. And something about us just triggers you so much, and it's really hilarious, but it gets old fairly quickly. You're gonna find that just not many people are gonna really care about your shit.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Rage. But I wanted to, if I can, Ginger, if I can comment on the conversation about the interpretation of Scripture, the literal interpretation.
Real quick, before you do that, we need to hash out this whole you saying that Knock is running from the debate because he
yeah, you got 16 canceled again. You canceled again, right, Knock?
No, I didn't. The praise is here. He's actually read the emails, yo.
You just
I just sent because I have a stream.
So you did cancel again. All right. So
no, I said we can start at 6, and that gives us 2 hours, and then I start my stream at 8. That's what I said. I didn't cancel.
So you want to debate for 2 hours on Thursday?
That gives us at least 2 hours. Now I'll probably have to dip out, 15, 20 minutes before so I can set up for my show with Neil.
Right, well, why don't we hold it another time? Because 2 hours isn't long enough.
How is 2 hours not long enough for a fucking debate?
No.
Oh shit.
No,
dude, I have very limited time. I can't give you a goddamn afternoon.
Because I know how you love to monologue.
What the fuck? 2 hours isn't 2 hours is a standard debate. It's an hour and a half is a standard debate, dog.
Hold on. Let's make this 5. We'll make it 5.
I want to be there for this.
I gotta cook dinner. All right, so we'll make it 5, but I'm gonna dip out at like 7. I gotta cook dinner.
We'll just do it another day where you don't have a conflict. That's all. No problem.
Dude, I am a busy motherfucker. I got
so
2 days
everybody
off
here, dude.
Listen, I would just say, stay with the day that it is. Stay with what's planned. Stay with what's planned and just let it run out.
You have jobs. You don't have lives. You're not the only one. Stop saying.
Trust me. A lot can be said within 2 hours.
We want you
a lot can be said within 2 hours.
Your rhetoric. We want you to back your rhetoric up, and all of a sudden you're busy.
An hour and a half is a debate, Joe.
So pick a date, dude.
Do you not understand what a fucking debate is?
Pick a debate. Pick a date when you're not busy.
Wednesdays and Thursdays are my days off now. Those are the 2 days it can happen. And guess what? I just stream. I don't have much time, Joe.
We don't. None of us have much time.
I don't have 3 or 4 hours
right now.
I have an hour and a half.
I have to go back to my computer, my other computer right now. I'm working now. None of us have the time.
I have an hour and a half to give you.
As being so busy.
Come on, I mean, Smokey, praise. You guys know. I'm like, what the fuck, man? An hour and a half.
Yeah, by the way, Jill,
I agree with you.
Hold on. Let me jump in. Yeah, I think 90 minutes is plenty of time, bro. You get 10-minute openings. You get open conversation with rebuttals for like 45, 50 minutes, bro. That's normal structure, man. Oh, yeah, I mean, how long?
Dipping out 15 minutes. Come on. He's talking about
Jill, even when me and you had a conversation last Sunday, that only went for about an hour before we decided. I said, let's bring in people.
I don't want them running out of the debate 15 minutes before the debate ends.
You will not be able to stretch out an interaction with Rage for 90 minutes. I promise you. His points will fit in a cardboard box the size of an envelope. I'm telling you. Okay, like you're not going to have a hard time unpacking it. It's all very, very surface level. You're not going to be able to find 90 minutes worth of argumentation.
That's probably true.
Okay, so how many times have we debated on Modern Day Debate? 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Kicked your ass.
Modern Day Debate is an hour and a half of super board chats.
Who kicked whose?
I kicked Praise's ass in every one of the. I actually admit when I lose a debate.
Oh yeah, you really kicked my ass, man.
Oh, I might have to do a debate review later today. I didn't know that happened. Maybe I need to look into that.
I would love that. I would laugh so hard.
Oh, I might need to. Thanks for that idea. I didn't know that happened
on the playback.
So can we get an official date Thursday? What time?
Thursday, 5 or 6, but like I only have an hour and a half, 2 hours. If we start at 5 o'clock, then I can make a quick dinner for my daughter before I stream at 8. So that would end like 6:45, 7 o'clock. We would be ending.
We can start at 6 then.
All right. So yeah, I can make dinner before that. Then I can do my debate with you, and then I can have my stream with Neil the 604 Atheist and Randolph.
All right. So you have 3 weeks to prepare. I hope you're ready. I hope you're going to come with more than just I hate Christian fundamentalists. Now, I want to say something about the literary interpretation because this has been going on for long enough. We do not read any book that way.
All right. I know if I stop it here, Smokey will talk shit. But I might stop it here for a moment. Because I mean, the rest of it is pretty much just telling me how I can't read. And I want to just address what they're talking about with this whole debate. So like Smokey, for the last couple of days since I kicked Jill's ass in that debate since Thursday, has admitted that I not only won the debate, but he's like been questioning where did this debate come from, who had the topic, playing really stupid when he was clearly just here in the actual room when we finalized that debate. Now I'm going to be putting that debate mirrored on my channel on Monday. But I thoroughly thrashed Jill in that debate, and Smokey's been triggered ever since. So I'm going to play this for a little bit, and then we'll actually we'll get into the conversation about this, because I do have about 6 minutes after I left the room what happened as well that I think I'll show at the tail end of the show, and we'll have a quick laugh before we end the show. So yeah, we'll play just a little bit more of this. There's 13 minutes left in the video, but I'll just give the audience a gist of what's. So they're basically going to get into how I read books and how I'm too stupid to interpret this 2,000-year-old book that was intended for sheep herders. I won't say the other thing that I used to say. I won't say that other thing, but let's call them Israelites 2,000 years ago. I can't interpret a book intended for them.
Just say that Doc has claimed that they were doing more than hurting those sheep.
I won't deny it. Excuse me. All right, but so I'll play just a little bit more, and then we'll get into some commentary. We'll talk about this conversation again. I think the Dragnauct part was classic, and I'd like to get into that, and then we'll have some fun with just how triggered as fuck these Christians are by your boy Nakasuchi. So yeah,
we don't open up a book and say, "Oh, I'm going to read this literally."
Bullshit! Like every book I read literally. I get.
Why would you do that, dude?
Can I finish? You had time. You had your time.
What are you talking about?
I'm about to explain. Listen, pay attention. I'm trying to educate you. What you're doing is you're practicing a form of fundamentalism by saying that you either have to read the Bible as parables or you have to read it literally.
Can I ask one question?
That is a form of fundamentalism.
Do you understand
atheist?
All right, so
here's how we read the Bible. Here's how I'm still talking, sir.
Yeah, you talk forever.
This is going to happen.
Hold up. As co-host, let Jill finish his point. Then you can go. Nakasuchi.
I don't know. I might be gone by then.
Dogmatically assert that we have to read the Bible in parables, or we have to read it literally. And if we do read it literally, we must be idiots. Is in itself a fundamentalism. It's a serious misunderstanding of the literal principle of biblical interpretation. We read the Bible as literature. We recognize the genres. We recognize, just like when you read Shakespeare,
what genre?
Go ahead. Hold up, Joe.
What's the genre?
Joe, go ahead. Go ahead, Nakasuchi.
I understand what a genre is.
So why can't you read the Bible?
Joe, hold up. Let Nakasuchi go.
So my point, and everybody started laughing when I said I read every book literally. Like when you're reading like Harry Potter, right? So you're reading it literally. You're getting a picture in your brain based upon the words that you are reading. Everything you read is a literal interpretation. When you're talking about a book like the Bible, a holy book, sure, you have to go into it with an understanding. I feel like I have this understanding. I've probably read the Bible more than anybody in this fucking room. I will stand
so you have the spirit, you would say.
No, I don't have no fucking spirit. I have a brain.
Well, then you don't have an understanding of it.
No, see,
a true understanding. Like I said,
such a double. I mean, so you're literally
there is
saying
a double entendre within it. Yes. No, I'm not saying that you're Christian. I'm saying unless you have spirit.
Let me just say this. Bullshit. Let me just say that this will help.
I didn't say Christian at all. That's what you said.
This will help you, Rage. It is, and this will help Drag too. It is crucial that you interpret the Bible as you would any other form of communication in its most obvious and natural sense.
Sure.
So when we read Shakespeare, for example, and Shakespeare says to, or the Iago says to the king that his daughter and the Moor are the beast of two backs, we don't take a literal interpretation of that, but it is a literal. It does have a literal meaning. It does mean something. So even when the Bible uses metaphors, it's still saying something that is literal.
So that's just another part of way of looking at it.
That's how you read anything. But when it comes to the Bible, all of a sudden we forget how to read literature.
The spirit.
All of a sudden we become a biblical, or we become literary illiterates. Literally.
All right, Jill. Let Nakasuchi go. He's only got like 10 minutes.
The fucking problem. All right, so whatever bullshit you're talking about here. All right, so did the Israelites enslave people? Did they kill babies?
That's for Thursday.
These historical things happen, right? So this Bible, the problem isn't that it's taken as a genre of fiction. I promote that. You know, this Bible is taken literally by the people that believe it. The Christians in this room believe it literally. They pretend that they use hermeneutics and apologetics to try to skirt around the fact that they take it literally.
I would say, we take the parts that we need to take literally. Of course we would.
Again, who is doing the cherry picking? I've been accused of cherry picking a book by putting the whole chapter on word for word. I'm cherry picking. But you just admit to cherry picking.
When Shakespeare says that the Moor and Desdemona were the beast of two backs, does that mean that
Quentin,
they were literally beast with two backs?
Yeah, Tom.
Hold up 1 second. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna go to the park with the kids.
All right, I think that's good on that part. So let's just talk about this conversation. We got the two co-hosts from the room on, and I do have a little bit more to play, but that'll be the end of this part. So what do you guys think about Smokey saying? I think maybe he dreams about me. I mean, this guy just can't. Everything. I am his antichrist. I do believe.
I would say, have you seen his channel recently? And the stuff he's been covering me, man, really. I've been through the ringer within like the past 24 hours. It's been special.
We had him on the.
Yeah, I know he's triggered about the moderation.
They bring us for full screen.
Well, we had him on the show last night or yesterday because the night before when Praise was doing the wrap up stream to your guys' debate. Smokey had said some pretty heinous shit to Tog, and he apologized for it in a conversation between me and him.
He retracted.
Tog was doing a stream of his own, and I really wasn't doing much other than writing some shit in my notebook. And so I had heard what Tog had said, so I went to Praise's stream and confronted Smokey. And it started off kind of like a shit show, and I was just like, he's like, you know what, I'll go talk to Tog. Well, Tog had ended the stream, so I called up Smokey, and I'm like, yo, man, and we talked for a bit. So we came to the conclusion that, and I brought Tog into this because anything that we do on the show, we try to run by each other because this is a partnership. It's not just one person's show, you know what I mean? So we want to run it by each other. And so I had done that with Tog, and the original idea was that, instead of shitting on Tog for not knowing what he doesn't know, I thought Smokey could, at least show him what he should know and shit like that. And that ended up turning into a fucking turd fest. Smokey went off on Tog, and then we went to Praise's stream again last night, and that's where Smokey either apologized to you, Tog. I had only had 1 hour of sleep in 36 hours yesterday, so I was brain dead fucking tired. But the show with you guys wasn't really as bad as, you know, some of the shit that's coming from Smokey lately. And I'm not trying to get involved in that. This is my boy Togg's thing, and I don't want to, you know, white knight him or anything like that. I know he's a man enough to stand up for himself. But yeah, fuck, man, this was a grade A dumpster fest, and I appreciated every minute of it.
Well, yeah, it was a good conversation. It happened somewhat early in the morning, and somebody had sent me a message on Twitter that Jill was talking shit again about me running away from the debate. And so
after the debate took place,
no, before the debate. So I went live to confront Jill, and Smokey and Praise happened to be there, and Jill dipped right the fuck out. So like Jill was obviously, he knew he was lying about me running from the debate, because he's never really wanted to have a discussion with me about that, because he knows that I've been in the emails with him and we've been negotiating this debate. What I don't really get, because I mean, Smokey has been really triggered since that debate. I mean, I haven't seen like this. The guy is psychotic almost. I've noticed it because he mistakenly thought this one guy had said he was drinking. So Smokey just flips out because I'm crushing Jesus as Lord. I am dismantling this man, and Smokey's freaking the fuck out. And so he starts claiming that this one guy said, I'm drinking right now, when this one guy said I'm driving right now, which is why this one guy's microphone was messed up. It started off great, but then it got messed up because he was on his way to work. He clearly misunderstood this one guy and went on this tirade to where he just wouldn't accept this one guy telling him, no, I said I was driving, not that I was drinking, because Smokey's fucking psychotic. And because like he was there, like I just showed you guys, he was there when we negotiated that debate. So for him to pretend like he doesn't know that Jill wanted this debate, or that Jill and Praise tries to have this debate with every atheist they come in contact with, shows just how fucking stupid this man is.
See, the problem with Jill is that, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Problem with Jill is that if he doesn't think you're going to put much of an argument up, or he doesn't realize that people have to do adult things in life other than pretend to be a teacher online, he's going to call you a coward and shit, because I don't debate much unless it's like for fun and shit like that, or some goofy ass topic. But he tried coaxing me into a debate on why I was racist for calling him Uncle Ruckus. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to debate you. And he's like, well, all right, then I'll just go and make a video about you, exposing you and shit. And you know, I just
real quick, I just want to say to Les Nagy in the live chat, yeah, I mean, he can be construed as a troll, but the fact of the matter is, on this topic they're discussing right now, Smokey wasn't trolling. Okay, he's actually done a video now calling Tog a heretic and saying that he's not a real Christian. It's not a troll. He truly believes the shit he's saying. That somehow, not only did he mishear him when he said he was driving, but then Tog had made a comment somewhere else in that same video or another video where he said, well, I'm going to go off and have some drinks now, or something like that. And
well, see, that's not even what he was calling him a heretic for. That's not why Smokey was calling him a heretic.
I understand that. I understand that, though. But I'm just trying to point out to Lucifer. Well, yeah, he can be construed as a troll, but he's definitely serious about what he is saying about Tog.
And don't think that doesn't have something to do with it. He got upset with Tog during this debate and hasn't let it go, and now he's just grasping for other shit.
I will say for validation that earlier this morning he was in Praise's live stream, and I went back in there because I'm not trying to run for them. I'm trying to get an understanding, because I don't want to be pushed out of the body of Christ, and that's how I felt like what Smokey was doing. Like, you're trying to push me out, and I'm just trying to remain in. I'm trying to learn from you guys, but you guys, I don't think we're understanding and hearing each other. And I think today we might have gotten to that, but I said I don't know Smokey's heart. I really don't.
Well,
I just see his actions.
I'll tell you real quick, and then I'll let you go, John. Smokey has that same mentality that Matt Powell has. You're a Christian if you're like me. If you have the same theology that I have, if you have the same hermeneutics, the same exegesis, if you've looked into the book like I have, or if you're gonna kiss my ass. He is like Matt Powell in that, because Matt Powell will look at other Christians and say, "You're not a Christian," and that's what Smokey's saying does. He conflates all of Christianity into what he wants it to be instead of looking at the reality of what it is, and that's why I continue to crush him on this conversation, because he can't get himself outside of himself enough to have a real conversation about his religion. But go ahead, John.
Look, I just want to say one more to Lucifer is. Typically, the typical definition of a troll to me is someone who is saying things they don't believe to try and get a reaction out of people. I mean, and that's not to say that Smokey can't be construed as a troll in certain aspects of it, but he is not. When he says the crazy shit he says, he believes it. Okay.
Oh yeah, I called him out on it.
Yeah, he's not saying shit that he doesn't believe. With the intent of simply getting a reaction out of people, and to me, that's what a true troll is.
Yeah, I mean, when I called him out on it, that's exactly what he said. He's like, his exact words were something like, "You understand that I truly believe these things. That when I say these things about people, I truly believe them, and I have a right to say them." That was his response when I asked him about the way he insults people, calls people trash clowns, cockroaches. He's now calling me a Nazi. I saw that this morning. I'm an anti-Semitic.
You can believe what you're saying, be a troll, but the point I'm making is just to clarify the polysemous nature of the term troll, and that in the sense that he doesn't believe what he's saying. I just wanted to point out that he does believe what he's saying. So
before I speak, real quick.
Go ahead, Quentin.
Go ahead, dog. No, go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, hold up.
So real quick, before I say this, and I might get a little bit of shit. I'm not trying to shit talk Smokey in any way, but last night, when he was shitting on Talk a little bit, I stepped into the conversation, and I'm agnostic, but I'm at a point where I'm trying to find out what I believe, and that's just me personally. And so I had jumped into the conversation, and as soon as I did that, they wanted to brush me off because I'm not Christian. And I pointed out, I'm like, so you guys are basically turning me away when I'm trying to get answers for myself, and they didn't really like that much. Not gonna lie, but the problem that I have with Smokey, and I addressed this to him, was that I don't believe that he reads into context and what people are trying to say, and that's one of the things that was going on in the stream that me and Tog had him on yesterday, was that, and I told him before the stream happened, I'm like, yo, before you come into this stream to talk to Tog,
hey guys, I wish you could talk more, but my time has been spent up. I have to get going. Family fun time. So you guys take care. Please join us in the morning for Ginger Nation with Quentin and Toggle. Shoot us out. We'll be live Sunday. Bye, guys. Take care.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, man.
But one of the things that I pointed out to Smokey is that Tog is still really new to Christianity. He even admitted himself he's only about 2 years into Christianity. And so, I told Smokey, before you come into this conversation to have with Tog, you need to watch some of the videos that he does when he's talking about his Christian beliefs, because I applaud Tog for this. Anytime that he's trying to have a serious conversation about Christianity, he does not let anyone that doesn't have a Christian faith into the room, right? And it's not because he doesn't care what we have to say, but he does know that some of us do sometimes try to sidetrack the conversation. I admit I do it at points, and one of the things that Smokey was trying to point out to me, at least, was that, he's tried to have these conversations with Tog, and some of the atheists come in there and derail him And I'm like, dude, I don't think that's the case. I just don't think that you have the patience enough to understand that some of us, you know, we're a really close group. My group on the internet is a very tight knit group. You know, we're not saying that people can't come in, but we will go to fucking war for the people that we care about. You know, and I did that with Matt Bond on Praise's stream. I went after Gavin pretty fucking hard, and I've never really done that. So, you know, that's what I was trying to do. I'm not trying to start shit between Smokey and myself or get involved in shit that other people have going on. But when it comes to my friends, especially people that I care about, I will fucking go to war for you, and I don't give a fuck if I get crucified. One way or the other, I'm getting my point across.
Real quick, Jay, I sent you a link on Discord.
Yeah, we've got about a half an hour. I got about 6 more minutes of video that I'm going to show at some point.
Well, and Jay wanted to come in and show off his new avatar.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'd like to hear his opinion on this conversation. So my advice to you, Quentin, and dealing with Smokey is don't let him stand above you. Don't let him belittle you. Never assuage this narcissist. Whenever I come into contact with Smokey Saint, I see it's an enemy now. Like he's the type of person that I stand against on every level, socially, politically, here on YouTube. He wants to portray himself as this progressive Christian, and yet he goes out of his way to demonize atheists, even more so than the extremists that I do actually talk about a lot, which would be the NIFB and Matt Powell. They don't go around demonizing atheists. I mean, they'll demonize us, but we're not of a big concern to them. To where Icky Taint is going to sit here and pretend to be this fucking progressive Christian, this embodiment of what Christianity should be, and yet he's going to be the one belittling anybody that has a disagreement with any of the things that he says. And I just showed during this stream how he's a liar. He doesn't know what he's fucking talking about.
And real quick, Quentin, you know, like when you started your statement a few minutes ago, you prefaced it by saying something, I can't remember what your exact words were, but something to the effect of, you know, I don't want to be bad-mouthing Smokey, or I don't want to insult Smokey, or whatever it was you said.
I just don't want to start shit.
Well, and I just think when you say that, why? Like, I mean, he does not conduct himself in a manner that warrants respecting him. You know, period, end of discussion. I mean, I know you're just that type of person that wants to respect everybody, and I'm not trying to say to you to stop being the nice guy you are, but when you kowtow to him, and I'm not saying you do that on purpose, but it appears that way when you've been in streams with him, when you kowtow to him, you are you're kind of endorsing the way he acts.
So I will say this real quick, and Naka, I don't mean to like plug my own stream in your stream, Ben, but I do want to say this real quick because I have gotten a few people hit me up. Last night actually, I made a stream where I addressed that the problem that happened in the morning show, and I kind of blame myself for some of this shit because I did in a way feel like it was my fault for how the conversation went, but it wasn't because of what Smokey said. It was more of the fact that you know, I had thought that if I brought Smokey in to have like a conversation with Tog on Tog's beliefs, that it would go well, and it really didn't. And the thing is, like, the reason why I say I don't want to start shit with people is not because I condone what they do. It's because, you know, Tog and I have really worked on this show. It may not seem like that to some people on the outside, but we are trying to build this show into something where people can come in, you know, if they're having a morning where it's not going as well as they want it to, they can come watch this show, drink some coffee, and feel good about it. You know, that's what we want to do. Yeah, we have sometimes where, you know, there's going to be a shit show or people are going to argue, and that's fine. You know, like I said, I really enjoyed you guys coming on and having that conversation. I thought it was a fucking blast, and so did Tog. You know, and I don't want to start any problems with people because my channel alone, I want to be that one person on this corner of the internet that, you know, because I struggle with mental health. I'll be the first to admit that. I have a lot of problems.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we've only got like 25 minutes left. And we have some more stuff to get to. I want to let you know I've in the live chat posted the links a few times, and it's in the video description. Not only the link to the original video, but also the link to your channel. And please, like I said earlier, go on over to Quentin's channel and subscribe. But any other video that you want folks to know about, then DM the link. We could put that in the video description too. But we gotta welcome Jay, and then we gotta move on and get this done because Knox got to work.
Right. Yeah, I do want to say one quick thing. That is amazing, by the way, Jay. But the one quick thing that I'll say, and I'll wrap up what I was saying, is like I try to make a channel where it speaks to people who deal with shit like I do. When Knox, I don't remember if you remember this, but about a year or two ago, you did a stream talking about mental health, and I came in there, and that's why I'm really honest about what's going on with me, is because I know people who watch my channel who struggle with shit that I do. And I want to be able to help them go get through the shit they do. And that's what Tog does when he talks about Christianity. And people were like, oh, but you're still new. You shouldn't do that. And I disagree with that. I think that Tog is doing the right thing by, if there's other young Christians in his community that want guidance, then I think that Tog should be that light for them. And that's all I really needed to say.
Hey, welcome, Jay.
Yeah, I like Tog.
Hi, John.
You have to explain that avatar to me. Who is that?
That's hashtag Stapler Boy, John.
Oh, that's Gavin.
I caught him in an instant moment, so I figured I'd share it.
Well, it looks so much more different than the picture of him and his avatar. I wonder if he photoshopped it.
That's because the intention of that avatar was for you to be looking at his balls.
Yeah, he really likes showing off them crotch gap.
I caught this. I think he did this by accident when he joined Praise's stream. He didn't turn off his camera before going in, so it was on. And then shortly after, because I only caught this. It's only up for a few seconds, and I caught it, and I was like, "Look at that nipple, showing all kinds of sex."
So yeah, what as far as what do you have any comments on what we just all watched? No, with drag showing up and I watched some of that. I like the fact that drag was because I watched that a while back. What was that? That was late last week, right?
Yeah, it was probably 5 or 6 days ago.
Yeah. I think Knock and Drag handled him quite well in that. I think that's the only opinion I can give right now on it. It's just you guys handled him well in that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was hard to sit on it because I sat on it now for about 4 or 5 days. Since I cut out the little parts with drag, my intention, I wanted to capture an evolution of the way that Smokey Saint said drag and pronounced drag. And as I started doing that, I was like, nobody's gonna get this. I have this off sense of humor, so nobody's gonna get it. So I went a different direction, but I still might try to do that because or just go back and just listen to the conversation again. And just listen to the way that Smokey Saint addresses Dragnauct. At first, it's really friendly. Oh, I have no problem with drag.
Yep.
And halfway through it, it's drag, and then by the end of it, it's drag. And
not only that, but I have a request because I would like one of those little snippet videos because there's one part in there where he says, if you do this, you're a moron, and if you do this, you're a double moron. Which one are you, drag? So he starts out, like you said, respecting drag, and then once drag goes in on him the way he goes in on people, then all of a sudden, which are you, drag? Are you a moron or a double moron? And then a lot of people pointed out in the live chat when you played it, as soon as drag leaves, Smokey steps forward as big tough guy and talks shit about drag, and that's
well, dude,
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that in a little snippet video because because Smokey shows his balls in that moment.
Yeah, I might have to do something like that.
He even talked shit a little bit about Math Pig on the stream yesterday because he brought him up. He's like, there's no really humbleness to Math Pig because he says that he's got a half-naked girlfriend waiting for him. And I was just like, I didn't say anything because I was laughing my ass off. But in my head, I'm like, so you're mad at him because he's happy that his girlfriend loves him and you might not have that?
Yeah.
Because, I know that.
I think you're right on the money. I don't think he does have that.
Guys.
But just real quick, we'll let Jay say something, and then we got to get on to play that last 6 minutes that Knock wanted to play because
speaking about talking shit about people after they leave a room, I've got something.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jay. What were you trying to say?
All I was going to say is yes, but Smokey drinks the occasional wine, and he cooks very good food because he has an excellent palate.
Oh, you saw that, Jay, huh?
Yeah, everything about Smokey is excellent or the best, or like this dude is so narcissistic. It's insane. Like he's so narcissistic, and I just showed it in what we just watched. That he literally thinks all of Christianity reads the Bible like he does, like has this supposed scholarship like he does, when he can't even place. Like he doesn't even know his Bible enough to have an accurate history of it, and he'll say like stupid shit like the Book of Job is the first Bible story to ever be written, so you need to take that accordingly. When it was clearly one of the last Old Testament stories written.
Yeah, if you want to do a collage of like those little moments of Smokey, just add in the theme song. Kind of, I don't know if you can do this, or I know you can sometimes use licensed music for doing satire and stuff, but either way. What is that song? I Am Number One.
Yeah,
the hip hop song. I can't remember who does it.
Oh yeah, I know. I can't remember it either, but I know exactly who you're
talking about. I am number one.
Well, and I would agree. I would agree with that statement because I don't think that Smokey is any better than Piss.
The one thing that Smokey does is, so he did this on fucking Praise's stream yesterday when. Because Praise did something like rebuking everybody, including himself, and when Todd came in the fucking room, Smokey was just like, "You guys don't see what I'm talking about, blah 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 blah. Like you guys shouldn't be having this fellowship with Todd." And I'm in my head thinking, "Who the fuck are you to be telling people who they can't view as a brother, dude? Like, goddamn, come off your high horse and get your head out of your ass."
Hey, Germania says that song's by Nelly.
Nelly, yeah.
It is by Nelly.
I thought that might be Nelly. Yeah.
So anyway, let's get to this last bit that Rage wants to play of Smokey showing his ass. And
yeah. So after I leave the stream, Drag's been gone for a minute. Math Pig's been gone. Smokey's a little more comfortable. That one lizard is this Willie Wyvern guy. I think he's a Christian. He's a supporter, and of course now you have Jill in there. Big Sarge is a Catholic, but he's pretty cool. Like he'll take Smokey to task. I think I should bring him on for a conversation because he has some disagreements with the way I look at things. But I think that they're honest disagreements that we could probably actually have a conversation about, and it would be productive. Yeah, it would be a productive conversation. So, but yeah, let's check this out. It's only it's about 7 minutes, but I don't have to play it all. I've only got 15 minutes left, so we'll play some of it just to get a taste.
You guys
can I say something about literature and understanding how to read? Now, I don't
real
say,
quick. I know Smokey wanted to say something.
I want Jill to make his point actually because
we all took literature in high school. We all understand how to recognize a metaphor, a simile, when as is used, like or as. I mean, why is it that when we read the Bible and it says that the God is as this or God is as that or like this or like that, we all of a sudden we have to force Christians into some fundamentalist wooden literal interpretation. It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't understand it. The only way I can explain it is that there is a bias against scripture, and it's an attempt to marginalize the text and to put the text in the same realm as Aesop's fables. That's what 19th century literal scholarship attempts to do with the Bible. And that's who these people are parroting. Well, you know, Adam really didn't exist. He was just a metaphor. Yeah, he did exist. And the Bible employs metaphors. So the Bible is historical narrative, yes, but interlaced with Hebrew idiom. I don't understand why that's a problem.
Before we get into the response to that, I want to say this real quick. Holy shit, this has been the best episode of the morning show that I've had. And this is only episode 11. Holy fuck. Okay. Smokey wanted to respond. And
I am a dumpster fire magnet, clearly. They will follow me around. And since Rage will follow me everywhere, I think he is my biggest fan right now, because every other video is about me. I've apparently replaced Matt Powell in some weird universal way. So I appreciate it. I appreciate him constantly following me, stalking me, always seeing what I'm doing, and constantly reviewing me. It's actually quite entertaining and interesting. It's basically, I feel like I have my own fan channel. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, so now that we had the token Catholic guy in the room.
Right. Well, I just wanted to finish with the confirmation of like with Jill too, is that yes, and that was basically the whole point. I feel like the whole thing that was dodged the entire time was that central point of being honest with the digestion of the literature and its genre, and actually looking at it through the context of how it was written, who wrote it, when it was written, all these things that would give you
pause it real quick
as to how to digest it, how to interpret it, and what type of genre of literature it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just real quick. Is it just me, or is it? I mean, it always has been that case with Jill, but with Smokey saying as well, these guys seem to make a person not want to read the Bible, given all the complications that one might face in going through those things. So.
Well, yeah, it's weird because they think that, you know, all of Christianity takes the time to spend all of these hours working out what this Bible actually says, when that's the problem I talk about all the time, is that they don't do that.
But yeah, I mean, and think about it when they're really complicating things, and then you look at like the scriptures where you look at like the parables of Christ. The reason Jesus spoke in parables was so that people could remember.
Well, and the other thing is that Smokey said people aren't taking into consideration who wrote the books. Well, please show me definitive proof of who wrote any book in the Bible. Okay, because you know, people say Moses wrote, you know, the first 4 books. Show me where he did, where he even existed, you know. And as far as like the other books, there's no definitive proof out as to who actually wrote it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Hebrew Bible is the Hebrew Bible. I mean, the Hebrew have a lot of text. They took like 4 books from the Hebrew Bible, and I laid it out like when they were written. So like if Moses wrote it, then, you know, Moses was alive. Not just over 2,000 years ago. I mean, because we're talking from probably at the latest 7th century BCE, all the way to 2nd century BCE, when this original Jewish this original Hebrew Bible came together. So I really don't get how Smokey can pretend to be a scholar and know these things and be completely wrong about them. You know, and yet he claims all of Christianity is this as well. So it's pretty confounding to me that he's going to, accuse me of not putting his Bible into context or understanding his Bible, understanding the history of it, when he clearly just doesn't understand any of it at all.
Yeah, and he clearly misses the fact that. Just wanted to add on what Knock was saying, that what he's clearly missing is that, he just kind of, I don't know why they do this, but they seem to be doing or implying this. There's a lot of people with a lot of study, people with a lot of education that looked into the Bible and looked at the scriptures, and they translated in a way so people could get the context and the meaning of what was trying to be conveyed in this ancient language.
Hey, real quick.
Hold on, real quick. Then this comment that's on the screen now is from our live chat. It's not from the video we're watching, and this is Dr. Josh making a very good point about we just watched.
Yeah, I like that. It is so odd. They appear to rail against those who do not consider the complexities and nuances of the text, but then dismiss eminent scholars like Joel Baden and Bart Ehrman. Yeah.
Real quick, Sergeant Slim Jim is backstage. I sent him a link, just to let you know.
Well, we have very little time left. But was there more of that you wanted to play now?
We could probably just end it there. I might turn this into a video because it is quite hilarious. But yeah, we can end it here. So let me get us over here. Yeah, we got about 10, maybe 15 minutes at the most. And then I have to end the stream and immediately get out of backstage because I've got to get ready for work.
Yep, understand that.
Welcome to the room, token Catholic guy. That's your nickname for me from now on. But yeah,
that's cool. I'm always happy to be fashionably late.
Well, yeah. I am glad you're here. I did flash my email earlier. I think I might have given it to you before, but yeah, definitely want you to send me an email. I'd like to have you on the channel, and have a conversation because I think it would be an honest conversation. And I like the way that you do take Smokey and crew to task. So we're natural allies when it comes to that. And you were here. You're about 2 blocks away from where I live not too long ago. So that was kind of cool as well.
Oh, I guarantee once you actually start talking to me, you will be sorely disappointed. I have the personality of a dry board.
You'll run. No,
yeah, I'm already disappointed.
I know that Smokey comes up with some pretty toxic dialogue with you in the same manner that he does with me. So you're another one that triggers him extensively. So I enjoy it.
Well, and I love how their ilk likes to badmouth Catholicism and say that it's not true Christianity. Except when they want to talk about that Christianity is the dominant religion on the planet, then they want to include Catholics.
Yeah,
everybody. He triggers Jill a lot, especially with a K-bar joke.
Yeah, see, I'm behind on the K-bar thing. I'm a Stephen King guy. I always thought it was Ka.
Well, Sergeant was pointing out to Jill that his K-bar is bigger than Smokey, something, or to Jill or Smokey, one or the other.
Oh yes, they don't like considering the smallness of their manhoods.
Well, the thing you got to remember too about Smokey and probably Jill too is fundamentally neither of them really have anything to say at all, and they both are aware of this. They don't contribute anything to the overall discussion, so they try to cover for it with their weak bants and their bluster. And once you see through that and you realize they're not actually there for a conversation, it's really easy to get them going.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
So I thought you'd find this one funny. Jill thinks that St. Augustine was not a Catholic.
Not me.
That's cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
My brother and I heard that, and I was like, no.
Sadly, I'm not surprised. I mean, Jill's stupidity it never surprises me anymore.
Well, and just to bring us back here, because it is like 7 minutes to 2:30 here, and I think we should get on to the shilling portion of the stream and let everybody have a final word so that we can get Knock out of here to go make the donuts.
Well, yeah, real quick before everybody does that, what I liked about what I just played, the best part was him talking about how I'm talking about him all the time and I'm streaming and reviewing him all the time. And it's just another way that Smokey Saint's dishonest. Yes, I am spending a lot of time covering Smokey Saint, but I'm covering actual conversations that we had on other channels. I'm not covering him talking about me usually. I mean, usually I'll turn those into like an edited video just because I get laughs out of it. But I'm covering shit like actual conversations that we're having. They're just not happening on this channel because as of today, he's only come on here once, and that's pretty much because I called him a bitch for not doing so. So, yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit of the dishonesty you get from Smokey Saint. He doesn't look at anything and really give you an honest interpretation of what's actually happening in reality.
Well, and if you take his methodology to heart, then he must be your biggest fan then too.
Oh yeah, well, and I mean he's subscribed. I'm not subscribed to him, and I think I've thoroughly proven that he's pretty much watched every video I've ever fucking made. Because like he went back 3 fucking years to make a fucking video about me.
Well, next time the washed up, almost over the hill has-been gets on you about the amount of time you spend on him, ask him why he has so many videos about Darth Dawkins.
Yeah, or so many videos about myself. You know, I mean, like I only started covering him because he started trolling me and started making videos about me, and finally he got on my radar. Before that, like he was non-existent to me. He was like a bug. You know, and I'm sorry, Brain Bug, if you're still in the chat. You know, but so maybe bad analogy for my friend Brain Bug, but you know, he was nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? He was a mosquito.
Yeah, Jill or not Jill? Smokey is Knox Stan.
Yeah, well, and to even think like you're higher on my radar than Matt Powell. I mean, come the fuck on, dude.
So anyway, 4 minutes left, man.
All right, yeah. So yeah, you guys, tell us just briefly about yourselves, so we'll get the hell out of here.
Well, go ahead and go first, Jay.
I think everybody here has pretty much heard of me, so I don't think much needs to be said. Hated, loved by some, hated by many.
And Jay has a channel too. He does a lot of live streams on. And everybody who's here today, I'll make sure and get your channel links in the video description. Jim, what's the name of your YouTube channel? And let us know any final words you have.
My YouTube channel is Sergeant Slim Jim, which is the same handle I'm using in this room. I think I also dropped a comment in the live chat. Pretty easy to find if you use that search terms. I do some pre-edited videos. I hold some live streams, but since I have more kids than I know what to do with, and than most people know what to do with, I don't put a lot of content on my channel with any sort of frequency. I'm here purely for my own amusement. I don't have any sort of axe to grind, but if you like laughing at retarded Christians or you are interested in niche Catholic apologetics, my channel is the channel for you. Otherwise, I probably don't have anything for you.
And Quentin.
I said it before. My name's Quentin Phipps, the Random Ginger. I do a morning show on the Ginger Nation show with Tog, or this one guy, and on my channel, we like to shoot the shit and just have a good time. Also, Knock, I've been wanting to say this for fucking ever, man. I love the intro to your videos because I'm a huge Hobson fan, so I wanted to say that.
Yeah, Ill Mind of Seven to me is should be the atheist anthem. So yeah, I've always I have a thing for old school intros, so that's why I have my avatar up like this today.
And I'm John Peterson, and I do content on this channel. I have a channel of my own, but I haven't done anything for several months, called the Amateur Conversationalist. I may get back to doing some videos on that channel, but I, along with Faye the Most Gracious, host the Apostate Alliance here on this channel every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow, we're going to be joined by an ex-Muslim named Ali Ahmed. And the focus of the channel is mostly on ex-Muslims, but we talk to apostates from all religions. But we open each show talking about some stories from the world of Muslim apostasy. Please check that out and let your friends know about it. Knock?
Yeah. I'll definitely have that all set up after work tonight, John. I'll get all of that done and get the thumbnail up. I probably won't have enough time before work. Maybe I will. I might be able to do it as I'm right before I head out the door, because it usually doesn't take me too long to make a thumbnail. I think.
Well, you do it on off your phone, right?
A part of it, like I do my photoshopping on my phone, but I make the thumbnail on the computer. It shouldn't take me too long. We'll see how long. I'm gonna jump in the shower. I want to thank everybody for being here. This was a great conversation. Again, tomorrow will be Apostate Alliance 11 a.m. and then on Monday I'll be showing the mirrored version of my debate with Jesus is Lord. So if you haven't seen it yet, you can. I mean, it's my best debate performance, I believe. Unfortunately, it came against Jesus is Lord, so it doesn't really count. So, yeah, not going to play the outro, but I am showing my patrons. I love you guys. Thank you for being patrons. And thanks everybody for being here. We'll see you soon.